I'm Doug Brown. After a procedure for a detached retina, ESPN's Shams Charania reports Mavericks forward Anthony Davis should be ready for the start of training camp. That eye injury occurred last season. Who's the next starting NFL quarterback to show up at the pay window? ESPN's Adam Schefter.
There's no quarterback in a Brock Purdy-like situation that's in an obvious spot like that you say, boy, this deal has to get done. There have been so many quarterbacks we saw in the last couple of years that it's reduced the urgency to get a deal done with certain quarterbacks. But I do think that at some point in time, Lamar and the Ravens will attempt to get a deal done.
Adam Schefter on Unsportsmanlike. The Yankees will move Jazz Chisholm Jr. back to second base starting tonight against the Mariners. Chisholm started 28 games at third, but now has soreness in his right shoulder. Fever guard Caitlin Clark says she hopes to play tomorrow against the Valkyries. She's missed 5 games with a left groin injury. The NHL and the Players Association ratify a 4-year extension of the collective bargaining agreement.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Wednesday, Kirk Cousins says he felt misled after the Falcons drafted Michael Penix Jr. I'll tell you why the only person he has to blame is himself. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
You're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. For the first time in nearly 2 weeks, we're all here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Shea Dixon in 15 minutes. LSU offensive tackle Ory Williams in 1 hour. Lyle Collins will be here in hour 3. A ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Well, in less than 1 week's time, we will be at SEC Football Media Days in Atlanta, GA, and today, Tuesday, the Southeastern Conference did release the official attendees list. I always kind of go back and forth on this, wondering, how much do you actually care? And I really am not sure the answer to that. I know we've gone to SEC Media Days as a station every year since 2012, and we really enjoy bringing you that content. It is 4 days of nothing but a deluge, an avalanche of SEC football talk across our airwaves for 4 straight days in July, which is pretty awesome. And that is sort of the onset of summer, or the onset of football season, because after Media Days, of course, the Saints report to camp on the 23rd. A week after that, LSU will report to fall camp, and then we are in it, y'all. So it was interesting to see the official attendees list, and I'll give you the caveat and I'll give you my reaction to it. But the caveat that I always mention whenever we do this is I think it is important to remember the reason this event is held. Sometimes coaches will announce why they're bringing a certain player, and they'll say, well, it's a reward, or it's a leadership thing, or a veteran thing, or this guy's stuck with the program. That's not why this event is held. This is SEC Football Media Days. You are asking media from around the conference and the country to come to a specific location. In this instance, it's Atlanta, Georgia, to be able to tell the stories of the conference. Saying we're going to bring the coaches and the most interesting players from around the conference all to be here to tell their stories. That's the purpose of this event. And my goodness, if you're a team and you do not bring your quarterback, you are missing the purpose of the event. And I'm going to continue to say that every damn year until the SEC finally says it is mandated you must bring your quarterback. Because this year, there are 5 schools that are not bringing their quarterbacks. I'll get to that in a second. Let me begin by telling you the LSU players that will be in attendance. I nailed 2.5 out of 3 of them. The 2 ones that were very easy. Garrett Nussmeier obviously was going to be in attendance. And then Whit Weeks is the other one that will be in attendance. That was very obvious. Whit is a great personality. He's a great quote. He is going to be up for a lot of national awards, potentially All-America honors. This is an awesome opportunity to put him on that stage in front of the media of the conference to get to know him. They will love him. They will eat him up. He will be preseason All-SEC, and he's already gotten some preseason All-America honors. And if he goes and has another 120 tackle season with, 5.5 sacks, whatever, double-digit TFLs, he'll be in the running for the Butkus and all the stuff that comes along with being a great player and a great team. So we'll see. The third player that I thought might be was senior wide receiver Aaron Anderson. It was instead senior wide receiver Chris Hilton, who will be the third player representing LSU. And of course, the one difference, Aaron Anderson transferred to LSU from Alabama. Chris Hilton's been here for his entire tenure. He's battled injuries. But when he's been on the field, he has been explosive and awesome. And I really hope he stays healthy this year and has an awesome, explosive season. So those are the three players from LSU. Nussmeier, Whit Weeks, and Chris Hilton Jr. will be the three. LSU takes their turn on Monday. I mentioned 11. These are my takeaways just from the attendees. There are no specialists. That's great. We have seen South Carolina brought their punter. Was his name Kai Kroger? Wasn't that guy's name? Do you remember? I think it was Kai Kroger.
I don't. It might have been. I don't remember.
I think that was it.
Do you remember what year? I'll look it up.
Just Google Kai Kroger Media Days. K-A-I.
K-A-I. Okay.
I think Kai, and I interviewed him. I think it was the year we were in Nashville, which would have been 2 years ago, so 2023.
23, they did.
There it is.
Kai Kroger.
Hot damn, how about your boy? He's on one, Muse. Right back. You just punch it right in the eye. Bullseye. Yeah, sometimes they bring specialists, which is stupid. I think Georgia brought a punter one year. And sometimes they bring players that stink, and that's stupid too. But I like what LSU's doing. Makes a lot of sense. A pox on Alabama, Kentucky, Missouri, Tennessee, and Texas A&M for not bringing their quarterbacks. Those are the 5 schools with yellow-bellied loser coaches who won't bring a player that people actually want to talk to. You mean to tell me, Kalen DeBose, that it's not interesting to bring Ty Simpson? A guy that's been in that program, that's been around, that's likely going to be your starter. You wouldn't bring Ty Simpson because that's not interesting, replacing Jalen Milroe? How about Kentucky? You know who Kentucky Muse, you remember who the transfer is? Kentucky brings a transfer every year. Do you remember who it is that they got this year?
No.
In the past, we've seen guys like Zach Eats the Banana, who went to Tennessee. Will Levis.
Will Levis.
Who was the guy last year? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, Zach Calzada.
Oh, that's
right. How about that?
They did get Zach Calzada.
Bro, you don't mean to tell me, and isn't Zach Calzada the one that beat Alabama in the game in
A&M.
In Texas A&M years ago?
He is.
You don't mean to tell me Zach Calzada, his career path, now back in the SEC, that wouldn't be an interesting story to tell? Bo Pribula is the projected starting quarterback at Missouri. He was at Penn State. I mean, that's not interesting. Wasn't that the one last year where, he left Penn State during the playoff run because he had to go in the portal? These are interesting stories. I mean, Tennessee, obviously, Nico's not there. And remember what happened. Nico transferred to UCLA, and UCLA's quarterback transferred to Tennessee. Guy's name is Aguilar or Aguilera or something like that. Christina's brother. Look that up. I can't back that up, but I think I have it on good authority. I mean, you don't think, with Texas A&M, no, they're not bringing Reed. You don't think, that would be someone that people would want to talk to? It's just stupid. It's stupid. So Alabama, Kentucky, Missouri, Tennessee, and Texas A&M, you're stupid. You're 5 yellow-bellied loser coaches who are bringing players that nobody wants to talk to, so you're all stupid. Annoys me. All right, Muse, it's time for one of our favorite segments of the year. You know what it is. Hit the music. Here we go.
Joey Aguilar, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. That's Christina's brother.
Well, Aguilar, not Aguilera.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Christina's brother.
Different name entirely.
No, I'm talking about Christina Aguilar.
I don't know who that is.
It's Joey's sister.
Oh, that's Joey's sister. Okay.
When you sit in this chair, you know these things.
Yeah.
You know the siblings of transfer quarterbacks from UCLA to Tennessee.
Dude, this guy actually had a sister named Christina. I'd lose my
We are
mind.
a big Joey
No, we're
Aguilar
not.
show.
No, we're
Been
not.
a fan of Joey Aguilar's
No,
for a
you
long time.
haven't.
Known him since he was a wee pup, a wee Bruin cub. All right, here we go. This is a little game we like to call Name That School. Woo! All right, let's try that again. Here we go. Open your mics, both of you. Here we go. This is a little game we like to call Name That School. All right, I'm going to name the... Yeah, that's the spirit. I'll tell you what, Muse. Give it an hour and 10 minutes, and Muse will be a lot lower key than that. Here we go. Everybody knows the game. I'm going to name the SEC Media Days attendee, and Muse here has to tell us what school he attends. Pretty simple, right?
Pretty simple.
Okay.
You would think.
We're gonna put one on a tee for you to start, Muse.
All right.
Okay, this is easy. I'm not joking. Diego Pavia.
Yeah, Vanderbilt.
There it is. Give yourself a all right, Muse is 1-0. Here we go. How about this, Muse? I'll give you Caleb Banks.
Okay. Caleb Banks.
I'm not feeling great about your odds here, Muse.
Probably not.
That's
but,
one you probably should have known. Like right off.
Really? I should have known Caleb Banks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He had a really good game against LSU a year ago.
I'm gonna go.
You're gonna guess is what you're doing.
Well, I'm gonna. Caleb Banks to me sounds like a South Carolina game.
No. He is a defensive lineman from Florida who wrecked LSU a year ago. Yes.
Yeah.
I am not in any way confident for you getting any other ones other than the quarterbacks. Let me see if I can find one you'll know for sure.
You thought I was going to do well with Caleb Banks there.
Well, I mean, when I told you and reminded you Caleb Banks, like that sounds like a pretty obvious one. Yeah. I mean,
I've tried to erase every memory of that game.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, how about DQ Smith, Dairy Queen Smith?
Dairy Queen Smith.
That's on the birth certificate, by the way.
Okay. I'm
Big DQ Smith fan. Big DQ Smith show.
We're gonna go former SEC East. We're going to say DQ. What was his last name? Smith? We're going to say DQ Smith plays for Kentucky.
No, he does not.
Dang
he
it.
plays for South Carolina.
No.
So I tell you, you were close to it. All right, let's see if we can get you. Here's one to get your confidence back, Muse. Okay.
All right.
Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah, Gunnar Stockton, Georgia.
Yeah, okay, let's go. So I'm confident that Muse knows the quarterbacks in the SEC.
Yes.
And little else. How about Jordan Lovett? Jordan Lovett will be in attendance at SEC Media Days. Jordan Lovett, Muse.
Ole Miss.
No.
Oh.
Jordan Lovett attends Kentucky.
Oh, gosh, come on. I'm one behind. I'm confident this next one's going to be an Ole Miss Rebel now.
All right. Muse, let's do a couple more. How about if we go with Caden Lee. Caden with a C, by the way.
Now, I actually do know this because I mentioned him on the show last week when I was filling in for you. He does go to Ole Miss.
I was setting you up for one, Muse.
Yeah.
You found the path.
Yeah.
That's what you found there. Okay. One more, Muse. Let's see if we can finish maybe with a bang. Ooh.
Oh, no.
I'm just going with a name that I really want to say.
Okay.
We can get Sharif in here.
I was just about to say, do we have to call Sharif?
I got to make it count. No, not him.
You might have burned the name already with DQ Smith. I mean, that's
Dairy Queen Smith.
That's solid, man.
If I get to interview DQ Smith next week, and I will ask him for sure about Dairy Queen. That'd make the week for me.
That'd be awesome. Clip it, social media, all of it.
Armaj Reed Adams.
What?
AR''MAJ. Armaj Reed Adams. Hyphenated last name.
That guy plays in the SEC.
Yes. Armaj Reed Adams.
Mississippi State.
No, Muse. He goes to Texas A&M. And once again proving why SEC Media Days attendees should not be selected by the coaches. They should be selected by me. Let me go through the 16 rosters and pick the 3 most interesting players from each damn roster and bring them to SEC Media Days so we don't have to pretend to know who Miles Kitselman is or why we would care about Connor Tolleson, a graduate center from Missouri. Bring your quarterbacks, idiot coaches. It's AFR. Shea Dixon's next.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Action Industries. Action Industries, a proud partner of LSU Athletics. Great industrial contractor right here in the greater Baton Rouge area with 2 physical locations. Of course, they're in Geismar right there on 73 as you're going south. I love telling you about Action Industries because it's been such a pleasure to get to know the people behind Action Industries and the business that they do. Now, I've learned this. In the years now that I've been able to endorse Action Industries. You don't get hired to do work inside the fence if you don't have an exemplary safety record. Action Industries, their safety record beats the industry standard. That's number 1. And number 2, when you rely on repeat business, you have to do great work so you get rehired. Well, Action Industries has been around since 1982. It's easy. Just remember Action Industries, Action Industries, Action Industries. And, of course, they are a proud partner of LSU Athletics. Turnaround season's here, y'all. Action Industries.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Fired up to have you with us here. LSU offensive lineman Ory Williams in about 42 minutes at the start of hour 2. Every Tuesday, we visit with Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger, talk about the biggest topics in recruiting world as it pertains to LSU. Boy, there's a lot of them today. Shea D, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you, Matt?
Doing great. Tigers popped a couple of commits on the 4th of July. Missed out on a couple of targets as well. Any reaction or big surprise from the weekend?
The notable one would be on, this past week, landing first the wave of Trenton Henderson, that top 100 group. But on the 4th of July, Isaiah Washington coming out of Haynesville gives them a safety. And obviously, they've got Dylan Purter, a coverage safety, top 150 kid out of Bama. They've got Aiden Hall out of New Orleans, who's been a top 10 safety. And then, coming out of a school like Haynesville, even when you have a great year like Isaiah Washington did, kind of as a pure athlete, you can fly a little bit under the radar. But after the state track meet over at Bernie Moore, boy, I think he put up enough to where every school came calling there. And ultimately, LSU wins out. So got Washington and then got back into Mississippi again, which has become a theme here. And land Bryson Cooley, another Pine Belt player coming out of Laurel. Remember, a year ago, they signed a 4-star and the top offensive lineman in Mississippi in Tyler Miller out of Laurel. And now they double back around, and they've got the number 1 and 2 offensive linemen out of Mississippi with Emmanuel Tucker out of New Albany, which is kind of Ole Miss territory, and then Cooley coming out of South Mississippi. So really good O-line class being put together right now. That is not a shock, obviously, for those who follow recruiting. Brad Davis and staff have done a really bang-up job from that time that he was the only person kept. Stafford kept on field from when Orgeron was the coach into Brian Kelly, and they have done nothing but continue to roll off 5- and 4-star high-profile prospects. So another big one there. They've kind of stuck in the top 5. So, I think 800 kids committed on July 4th, Matt. So, there's all kinds of jumping in the rankings. But the reality is they've shuffled around the top 5 and are kind of sitting pretty good here as, wait another wave of decisions this week.
I want to talk about those in a second, Shea, but there's one guy they missed on that was interesting. It was J.J. Bush, the linebacker from Alabama. I think it's pretty clear what happened there at the end. Look, a school like Arkansas probably just committed more of its revenue share to Bush. It would make sense for a lot of guys that do this. My question more so, Shea, is Tigers don't have a linebacker committed yet in this year's class. Missing on Bush, where do they turn next?
I think that they'll either wait and see. Look, like Baker can watch kids as seniors and say, all right, look, this happens all the time at a lot of positions. Hey, this kid's blown up. Senior year is your sort of most indicative as to how you were going to progress as a college player. And they could see a guy out there that they've been on and say, hey, look, we should turn up the heat here. He looks good. We saw that, this past cycle a year ago. Jaden Breaker late in the process really blew up, and he ends up being a guy that's a top 100 player by the end of the process. So I'm not ruling out them taking one. I also know, which is a good thing, is that they feel good about the depth. And I think you can look at it and say, hey, look, all right, great. You've got the Weeks. There's 3 of them. You got Harold Perkins, but you've also got this crew of Tylen Singleton. We saw Devon Keys starting in the bowl game. They've got, for the first time, you can go too deep, beyond just the second team into a third team and some 4-team guys. So I think in this era where you're balancing how many guys you take out of high school, the portal, and then however much we stack up there, Matt, it's like, does that scare someone into the portal or push them into the portal from our team that we would prefer to stay on the team and we just develop them? So it wouldn't shock me if they didn't sign one. But again, if they end up finding one they like, then that would be an addition they would take. But I will say, had J.J. Bush stuck with LSU, announced for LSU all of that, they were not going to take another linebacker. So their sort of goal was just one, which speaks to them liking what they have on campus.
Yeah. They signed 5 in the most recent cycle. So the numbers are
That's
good.
right.
You could look into 2026 and go, okay, well, what about the experience step? But cross that bridge when they get there. Okay, Shea, 3 players set to announce on Thursday. The headliner among them, of course, is Lamar Brown, someone we've taught. Everybody knows the story. Talked about him forever. With 48 hours here as we sit, where do things stand?
I haven't changed my pick off of LSU, which I put on. I don't think, were they his first offer? It was a long time ago, but I've always thought that LSU was the team to beat. They are the team to beat, and I always thought it was going to be A&M as the competition. And he's got a Final Four that includes also Texas and Miami. He made official visits to them all, but this is an LSU or A&M decision. And Like that, I'd be fooling you if I told you I know where he's going. And I don't even know if both schools feel very confident for sure about where this is going. But whether it's how long they've recruited him, whether it's the effort they've put in, the pitch they've made, rolling out of the red carpet, NIL, there's nothing LSU's going to come up short on, which ultimately means that it's Lamar's decision. Is it I'm staying home, or is it I'm going to commit to A&M? And look, the recruiting expert in me, I wish I could give you an answer, but if he stays home, are we shocked, Matt? No, not at all. If he doesn't, are we shocked? No. We name a school out there where you'd say, man, sometimes those kids just don't go to LSU. It'd be U High, the one school where it's on LSU's campus, and the kids say, look, this is just where I went forever, and I kind of got enamored by another program, and I want to get away from home.
All right, we're going to see if we can. I don't know. Shea went into robot mode there for a second. We'll reconnect. So, it's talking about Lamar Brown, who will announce on Thursday. It's a giant one. There's two other players, two edge players for 2026 that are set to announce as well. All right, Shea, we got, I think, everything we're saying there with Lamar. The two other players that are going to announce on Thursday are a couple of edge rushers, DeAnthony Lafayette and Jamarian Carlton. Give us, if you would, the thumbnail view of both those guys.
Yeah, if anyone cut out there, my clip notes is I won't be shocked if Lamar goes to LSU or if he goes to A&M. There's my expert opinion.
Got it. We come to you for the hard-hitting opinion, Shea.
I'm glad I could be here for this. Yeah, there'll be three guys, D linemen, D ends, edges, who announced Thursday with LSU hats on the table. I feel the best about DeAnthony Lafayette. I put a pick in. He's a kid coming out of Lake Nona in Florida who, right after Vandy, Kevin Peoples and Baker offered him, and he had not been a highly touted recruit at that point, but he had a just unbelievable year stat-wise. And then once they got out to see him in person, it was like, okay, he's 6'5", 6'1", but long arms, can cover, can play that stand-up outside linebacker kind of edge spot. And they've continued to recruit him, brought him in on visits. And Miami will have a hat on the table. Oklahoma's really pressing. But as long as anything doesn't go wildly crazy in the next 48 hours, I do think that you add one more to the list there with him and Lafayette coming out of Florida, not coming out of Lafayette, but at least it rings true that he would maybe end up at LSU. And the other is Carlton, who I'd best describe this, Matt, to the sort of in layman's term for recruiting fans. They were after two big out-of-state edge rushers, and I think they even hosted them on the same weekend. But it was Trenton Henderson, and it was Jamarian Carlton. Henderson coming out of Pensacola and Carlton coming out of Temple in Texas. And they've already gotten Trenton Henderson committed. So top 100 guy, you beat out Florida for him. Can you strike magic twice? I mean, maybe. I definitely think they're in this, but from the start, a lot of people thought he would stay close to home, and his house is about a 20-something minute drive from Waco. So despite Texas, LSU, Texas Tech coming in, and for those who don't follow recruiting, they've been making major NIL waves in the past couple of weeks. A&M, all these schools being involved, it won't surprise anyone if Baylor's the choice, and he sort of becomes the jewel of the class and stays home.
A big 4-star, number 44 nationally in the on-3 composite, speaking of Jamarian Carlton. Shea Dixon's with us on 3, the Bengal Tiger. A couple more for you, Shea. I did want to ask about Kelvin Bolden, who LSU's bringing in from Ole Miss. It's the second staffer now, Jai Shuderi, who's come in from Ole Miss, who worked with Austin Thomas there at in Oxford before Austin came here. Do you know what role Bolden's going to – and we know the title as the assistant general manager, but do you know what role he's going to play in sort of the significance of this hire?
I think it's sort of as you build out, if you want to call it the modernization, right, of college football. All these teams have hired GMs. Well, Austin Thomas is back and has been directing that, and they saw a handful of staff members get other jobs in the NFL or their colleges this offseason. So they've had to make some hires, and this was the first one. And I think it's going to be a blend, Matt, and this is kind of required now. You've kind of got to be a bit of a renaissance man. You have to be into the knowledge of NIL and how it works and having those discussions. You have to be able to recruit. You have to understand roster structure. And all of those things are things that, from speaking to folks who worked around him, say that, hey, look, he can check all those boxes. And I'll say this. I tweeted last night that news, and I guess Twitter doesn't let you see people's likes anymore or whatever, but I can at least tell you that up and down the list was about every high school coach in Mississippi. Like, this is someone who played at Southern Miss, who went to Ocean Springs, who played at Gulf Coast before he went to Southern Miss, and now has been at Ole Miss. So a guy with a lot of experience in Mississippi, and then recruiting the Southeast, been a part of Ole Miss staff for a couple of years now, was hired by Austin Thomas at Ole Miss, and previously worked for Gus Malzahn at UCF. So he's been out of the state before. He'd also worked at Florida. But I think it's a little bit of everything, and that's what we'll see here kind of moving forward as they build out kind of that personnel department beyond just the recruiting or personnel side that deals with the team, is these guys and girls, whomever it might be, that have an understanding of everything that goes into college football recruiting and building a roster right now.
Of course, you can get him on Twitter at Shea Dixon. That's where Shea shared that news on Monday evening. Hey, before you go, after Thursday, which is the day we're going to be looking for the three prospects that'll have LSU hats on the table, anybody we're keeping an eye on who would be sort of next in the queue?
Yeah, look, I mean, they're not going to take a massive class, and I think they'll get above 20. But, remember back in the day, we would always say 25, right? I think they'll end up with 20 to 25, let's say. That would leave, 6 guys left if they end up getting Lamar Brown and end up getting DeAnthony Lafayette. And one I'd put firmly at the top is Jace Matthews out of Mississippi, and we've got him ranked as a top 3 receiver. I know our rankings are about to be updated soon. He is neck and neck battling Tristan Tease, another receiver out of Mississippi who's committed to LSU, for best receiver in the country. And I don't think he's staying in Mississippi. It'll be LSU or Auburn. It might be A&M, but LSU really surged there. So, I mean, we could be talking about a really marquee recruiting class that would match that old, Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Hilton, Jack Besh, all those guys that signed at the same time together. So keep an eye on that. They'll stay on D lineman. Deuce Gerald, whose dad's from Scotlandville, played for Frank Wilson at Ole Miss. He's a top 100 player. A 5-star lineman, Darius Gray, who could play center or guard, but number 1 interior lineman in the country, Matt. Wolfong and all of our national teams still have LSU as the team to beat, and you look at what they've done recently there. Carius Kern, if you get Darius Gray this year, I think 2 years ago, who am I missing? There was another, but it would be a run.
Lance Hurd, Will Campbell. I mean, they've signed Weston Davis.
Yeah,
they've signed a 5-star in every class.
No doubt, and I think they've signed a top 2 interior lineman if they could land Darius Gray in 3 straight classes. So they've done so well recruiting on the O-line. But
Cohen Eccles?
Kind of, yes, right. So those are some names I would kind of continue to keep an eye on. But, boy, no doubt, this is Lamar Brown week, who I just saw is going to be announcing on ESPN too. Jared had written up. So let's see, there's a shuffle 12:15 now at U High, and looks like the plan as of now is a nationally televised audience.
Can you imagine the air out of the balloon if he puts on a maroon hat? Oh my God.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Joe
one of the
McKnight.
best players I've ever seen.
Yep.
But yeah, boy, Charles Handegriff couldn't do anything after that moment to rally the troops.
Yeah.
So
The Joe McKnight one was the worst. But Shea, I always say the thing about a guy like Joe McKnight, you go to USC, you're never going to see him. The worst is when Devontae Smith goes to Alabama, right? Jakeem Stewart going
100%.
to SC, okay, never see you again. But Lamar Brown to A&M would sting. We'll see. We'll know on Thursday. Find all the info over at On3. By the way, y'all, did I say that Shannon Terry bought back Rivals? Is that what happened?
full circle moment for
How
him.
about that,
Started it, sold it to Yahoo way back in the day, and bought it back. So, right now kind of going through all that integration, but I'll give him the crown. The man started Rivals 24/7 on 3, bought Scout, bought Rivals back. So for a guy who grew up with parents on a farm in North Alabama, he's figured out this modern recruiting era of the internet.
Yes, there is no one more significant in the history of the recruiting world than Shannon Terry. It's amazing.
Jay, he doesn't know where Lamar Brown's going either, so let's see. So we're all in the dark.
I nailed the dismount. Thank you, Shea.
Bye, Matt.
All right, we'll see you. Shea Dixon on Through the Bengal Tiger. Around the SEC next.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. What you got going on? Just hanging out in your outdoor spaces. You want to beautify them? Clegg's Nursery can help. Maybe it's good to exercise. Get out in the garden, just plant something. You don't want super strenuous exercise. I mean, gardening is great. Also, grounding, like getting your hands in the dirt, discharging into the earth. It's great for your health, your overall mental state, well-being, and you're beautifying your outdoor spaces. And there's no place better than Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations, Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you all the time to buy local and shop local. They're awesome. And you walk into Clegg's and you got a question. You're like me. You're not a green thumb, but you want to beautify your outdoor spaces. You got questions. Just find someone in a blue Clegg's shirt. They'll have all the answers for you. And they got all the things you need to keep the pests away. It's Clegg's Nursery. Clegg's Nursery.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
5-11 is fair. We want to earn it on the field. It might not be the best solution today for the Big 12, given your comments about AQs. But long term, knowing the progress we're making, the investments we're making, it's the right format for us.
That's Brett Yormark at Big 12 Media Days, which is going down right now. The Big 12, God bless you. They, the SEC always sort of did the honors of pushing out from the dock in the talking season here around Media Days. And the Big 12 decided, I know what we're going to do. Since you took Texas and Oklahoma, we're jumping ahead of you and doing it a week earlier in July. Ha! That'll show them. and nobody really shows up to Big 12 Media Days because it's Big 12 Media Days. But in any event, so they're sort of shouting into a vacuum right now. But we're paying attention because it's our job. So Brett Yormark talked about the 511. Remember, the SEC has been pretty adamant that they want the 4-4 model, the 4 auto bids in the playoff for the SEC and for the Big Ten. So the 4-4, 2-2, 2-2, repeating, whatever the stupid numbers are. The only thing that really matters is that the SEC and the Big Ten would each get 4 guaranteed bids. But there's Yormark stumping for 511. You know how this is going to go, right? Whatever the SEC and the Big Ten say they want is what's going to happen. If the SEC and the Big Ten say they want the 4-4, 2 times pi to the third, whatever that thing is, where the SEC and the Big Ten get 4 auto bids, like that's what's going to happen. So, Brett Yormark, I mean, respect for the fact that you've saved this league despite losing Texas and Oklahoma. That really is remarkable. That's a remarkable job that he's done. But nobody cares what you want. It's just not going to happen that way. Speaking of other things noteworthy at Big 12 Media Days, Joey McGuire. How many people in this audience do you think know who that is? Ballpark it for me.
I will say 5%.
Twitter poll it.
Okay.
Twitter poll it. Do you know who Joey McGuire is? Well, because if you say that, people could say yes, but they really don't know.
That's true.
Put in there like parenthetically, be honest.
Okay.
Be honest. Do you know who Joey McGuire is? And if you, I was saying if you do put the name in the comments, if people see the name in the comments and say yes. Anyway, just let's see how it turns out. Joey McGuire is the head coach of the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and as we've all learned, they have real legitimate oil money because man, they're out here spending millies on softball pitchers because why not? You got a rich guy that wants to be good at softball? Cool. Here's a milli for a softball pitcher. You still don't win a natty. Whatever. Anyway, Joey McGuire was on stage sitting right next to Kalani Sitake. There were a handful of Big 12 coaches here on the stage. Matt Barry from ESPN's there. And he was asked about future scheduling, and he mentioned your Fighting Tigers of LSU.
And then Kalani brought it up. I mean, let's decide it on the field. You know, if we're sitting here talking about the playoffs, if you win the conference champion, you should be in the playoff. And then it's one of the deals, I know you said it a couple years ago, to where we all of a sudden now have cross-conference games that we're playing each other. I think that'd be a great way to do it. You know, I saw Brian Kelly say he'd love to play a Big 10 team. Hey, man, I would love to play LSU, you know, home series, and whoever plays that, then, you know, we look at the rankings and everything like that.
If Brian Kelly issued the challenge to the Big Ten, there's Joey McGuire stepping up saying, we'd love to play LSU. I mean, I bet you would. They would love for anything to latch on to that would scream relevance. Just if you look at feasibility, of course, LSU plays Clemson in 25 and 26. They play Houston, which, remember, Houston's now in the Big 12, so that is a Power 5 game in 27. That's the game at NRG in Houston. They'll play SMU with a home in 28 and 29. You've also got Arizona State on the schedule in 29. So you've got at SMU and Arizona State in 29. 30, you've got Arizona State. 31 and 32, you've got Utah home. So it's unlikely that happens until at least 2033. And if Brian Kelly's idea of an SEC Big Ten challenge comes to fruition, that's, especially if the SEC expands to a 9-game league schedule, you're playing 9 league games, then your Power 5 non-conference game, there's no space for adding a Big Ten opponent as it stands right now unless you're getting out of all these other contracts. It's going to be messy. That much is certain. We've seen that plenty here in college athletics and college football. But Joey McGuire with the call-out. It's like an old UFC call-out. Who do you want next? I want Brian Kelly and his family. Bring it, loser. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020. You want to see 2020? Call 924-2020. Muse, you weren't here yesterday, but I had Alondra gave me the audio sheet, and I put it right here on this wall. And I stood over there, and I read the entire audio sheet. She was amazed. Hey. Paulie, true story?
True story.
True story. Alondra doesn't see too well, apparently.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I guess she needs contacts or glasses, or maybe she needs LASIK from the Williamson Eye Center. If you're going to have LASIK, go to the Williamson Eye Center. They're the best. Maybe you've been told you're not a candidate for LASIK. Maybe you're Not interested in LASIK because that's a laser that changes the shape of your eye. Evo ICL is an alternative to LASIK. ICL is implantable contact lens, where they will implant the lens in your eye, and it is a totally reversible procedure. The bottom line is, no matter your age or refractive issue, ophthalmology has come so far to where they have an option for you. But you got to go sit down with Dr. Blake Williams and get all those options. It's the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. All right, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Auburn Tigers.
That time of year, freshman linebacker DJ Barber arrested after a traffic violation, which led to probable cause search. He had drugs in the car. He had THC vapes, scales, packaging for marijuana to sell, a couple of grand in cash, had a handgun as well. All the things that you hate to see in a car when you get pulled over. But talented freshman DJ Barber, he is in some trouble.
The Florida Gators.
Florida landed a commitment from four-star linebacker Malik Morris, 6'1", 225. He's out of Lakeland, Florida. He's a four-star linebacker for the class of 2026. Chose the Gators over Miami, Texas A&M, and others. He's the number 17 linebacker in America.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Ole Miss landed super athlete Jet Goldsberry over finalists like Purdue, Rutgers, North Carolina, West Virginia, Wake Forest. If he was really a super athlete, you're thinking the same thing?
I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, It literally says in the headline, Ole Miss lands super athlete Jet Goldsberry. And yet he's the sixth best player in Indiana.
Yeah.
And whatever.
Purdue, it's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Okay?
The Oklahoma Sooners.
Oklahoma got a tight end pledge from Tyler Ruxer. He's out of Indiana as well. That he's better than the sixth best athlete in Indiana. Duke, West Virginia, Minnesota, Purdue, Northwestern. He's the 15th commit to Oklahoma.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas added a baseball transfer, Damian Ruiz, out of the portal. He was the hitter of the year in the Southland. Slash 388, 5'11", 607 at Houston Christian this past year. Transferred to Lamar for 2025, Went Houston Christian, Lamar, and now he's headed as the 8th portal commit, to Arkansas. But he is draft eligible, so keep an eye on him.
Texas A&M!
And the Aggies have added Cal State Fullerton infielder Maddox Lata, 5'11", 175, all Big West. He was the defensive player of the year in the league. 53 games, he hit 362. He's the 8th Aggie transfer commit for this class. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Tuesday shows powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. You want a Deere, you're in Bunkie or below, the one place you're going to get it is at Sunshine. Go to sunequip.com, sunequip.com. All right, let me knock out our final break here of hour number one. We'll come back. Kylie McDaniels put out his top 250 for the upcoming MLB Draft. Where do the LSU high school commits land on that? We'll tell you here in just a sec. And Ory Williams, LSU offensive lineman, here in less than 15 minutes. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Of course, Gordon also one of the partners in Court to Table. Shout out the new pickleball concept on Burbank and Baton Rouge. Was there, went twice last week. Food was great. Ambiance was great. They really did a fantastic job. Very, very, very family friendly. Even if you never pick up a pickleball pickleball racket. What do we call it?
Paddle. It's paddle.
Pickleball
paddle.
A pickleball paddle. Anyway, of course, if you're injured playing pickleball, get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney. Say, look, bottom line is no matter where you are in the state of Louisiana, Gordon has offices all over the state with local attorneys that can help. And as Gordon notes in a lot of his social media content, if you've been injured out of state, they have attorneys that can handle your out-of-state cases as well. So you know what to do. GetGordon.com, getGordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, We roar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Look at her face. She ain't a fooling me. She thinks my tractor's sexy.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. LSU offensive tackle Ory Williams in less than 10 minutes from right now. In less than a week, we will have a much better picture of the 2026 LSU baseball roster. The draft, the two-day MLB draft, starts on Sunday. Incidentally, I've mentioned this before, but a year ago, the draft, which now they've moved out of like a studio in New York to on-site. They like the NFL draft has done. They're moving it around. Last year, it was in Fort Worth at some like cattle barn, and we were there for SEC Media Days in Dallas. This year, the MLB draft is in Atlanta while we're in Atlanta for SEC Media Days. Weird coincidence, but so we'll be there in Atlanta. I'm not going to be at the draft Sunday night. I guess I could be. Maybe I could be.
It's a pretty cool experience, probably.
We get to Atlanta, like we leave New Orleans at like 11:30 Sunday morning, so we get to Atlanta at like 1 in the afternoon. 1:30, something like that. I mean, I could get in, check in, drop bags, and find the draft. Probably could do this.
That'd be really, really cool, actually.
And Cade Anderson will be the first pick.
It's gonna be awesome.
Probably gonna have some not great news about a couple of LSU signees.
Probably not. Yeah.
Great for them,
but
not great for.
That's tradition. Yeah. You know, I mean, we just come to expect that these days, right?
Yeah. These days.
Every
It's always. Just par for the course, but. Kylie McDaniel's top 250 rankings are out. It's got Cade Anderson, number 1, no surprise. Ianson, number 45. Chase Shores, number 68. These are all guys who are anticipating signing. Dickinson at 84. Ethan Fry at 132. Jared Jones at 249. Fry is the one that I expect back. We've said it. Barring something unforeseen, LSU has the NIL rev share piece in place for Ethan Fry, and I do expect he'll be back, and you pencil him in now as your starting left fielder. But we'll see how it all plays out. The more interesting question, I think, for a lot of us is going to be what happens with the signees, the high school signees. I did have, some I've done every year, and a lot of you have asked me about this. I did have a conversation today with what I would consider my best baseball source in the scouting world, to run through all of the LSU high school signees and which ones are likely gone, which ones they're expecting will be on campus. So I'll empty my notebook in 20 minutes. So we'll get SportsCenter here, come back, talk to Ory Williams. After Ory Williams, I'll empty my notebook on the LSU baseball commits. I'll tell you everything that I know from the highest level information that I got about these guys and who they expect to be on campus and who's going to end up signing a pro contract. So we'll get to all that here shortly. It is After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here on this Tuesday edition, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Lyle Collins is also going to be with us, former Tiger great, longtime NFL offensive tackle. Lyle will be here in Hour 3. We're looking forward to that. All right, don't you move. Hour 2 is coming up right after SportsCenter.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, with locations all over South Louisiana. Name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they treat you like family, so they'll keep you coming back year after year after year. One thing I always encourage you to do, go to the website, ShawBillsTire.com, hit the promotions tab at the top of the page. When you hit the promotions tab there at the top of the page, you'll see all the deals that they offer. And they do an amazing job of combining the dealer special with their own in-house offer to get you the best price possible. As a matter of fact, they guarantee it. If you buy tires from Shawbills, find those tires advertised, the same tire, advertised cheaper somewhere else, they'll refund you 125% of the difference. That's part of the Charlie's Dozen, guaranteeing you the lowest price on tires. It's Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com since 1968. It's Shawbills, y'all, where we keep you rolling.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
Center.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Shams Charania reports that after a procedure for a detached retina, Anthony Davis of the Mavericks is expected to be ready to go for training camp. He's getting ready for his first full season in Dallas after getting traded by the Lakers. Falcons quarterback Kirk Cousins says if he had known the team would draft Michael Penix Jr., he might have stayed with the Vikings. Cousins got hurt in Week 10 last year, but decided to keep playing.
Once I lost my shoulder and my elbow, should I have sat out? Should I have done something different in my rehab? You know, you have all those questions. With the information I had at the time, I made the best decision. But you also know that if you sit down Week 10 and take 2 or 3 weeks or more to let it heal, you may never get your job back.
Kirk Cousins on the Netflix series Quarterback. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott says he is fully recovered and ready for training camp. Prescott had surgery on a hamstring injury. A good day for two Americans in London. Taylor Fritz and Amanda Anisimova both advance to their first Wimbledon semifinal.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Wednesday, Kirk Cousins says he felt misled after the Falcons drafted Michael Penix Jr. I'll tell you why the only person he has to blame is himself. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right. Woo!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Music. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Lyle Collins next hour. In about 15 minutes, I'm going to run through the current LSU baseball signees and what their draft projections are, meaning who is likely to sign, who is likely to show up on campus, who are the ones we're going to be sweating out over the 2 days of the draft. That's coming up here in about 15 minutes from right now. LSU just a couple of weeks away from the start of fall camp. Redshirt freshman offensive lineman Ory Williams will be out there. Right now, he's with us. Ory, great to have you, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Man, I'm doing awesome. We appreciate a couple of minutes. You know, I would love to know, as a guy who came in last year as a freshman and now going through this June workout period, how different is it for you this year compared to when you were here last June?
Well, I want to say for last June, you know, I was a freshman coming in, so I didn't really know what to expect, and I was trying to take the back seat. You know, I had Will Campbell, Emory Jones, Miles Dellinger, and Miles Frazier sitting in front of me. So, you know, I was just trying to take from them and learn the best I could and the insides out of the offense. And so I took that, and for this June, I mean, it was a complete transition. I feel like it's going good. It's going way better than the first time, and, you know, we're really moving up.
What do you think is the biggest difference?
Really, the biggest difference is, I mean, I got to step into my role. I didn't come here to sit on the bench. I came here to play. So really stepping out of my shell and being that, you know, vocal guy and that guy that's just trying to outwork everybody.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting, man, because, like, you're a giant. I mean, you're listed at 6'8", 335. Is that accurate, by the way? Like, I'm sure you all weigh each other in you know, height, weight, all stuff in fall camp. Like, what are you right now, height, weight?
Yeah, we weighed in this morning, actually, for the list. I was weighed in at 6'8", 336. I want to say 336.8.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty darn accurate. 6'8", 336.8. So, like, you go out there and you play in one game as a freshman. I mean, Ory, was it difficult to sit and watch for a guy who is so highly touted? You show up on campus and then you kind of have to go through that, like you said, with all those veterans ahead of you?
Well, honestly, during my recruiting process with Coach Davis, the whole time, it wasn't. He told me he wasn't going to throw me in that water because, we got veterans ahead of me, and I really, didn't have much, don't have much experience coming in. You know what I mean? So it wasn't hard considering the fact, Coach Davis kept it real with me and told me that, I'm not going to be able to play much because he wants me to learn the offense. So when I do play, it don't look sloppy or none of that. So, it was a hit to the heart, but, you got to take it on chin and learn. So that's what I did.
Yeah, man. I love that. Let's talk a little bit about Brad Davis. What's it like playing for him?
Coach Davis, he's a great coach. I mean, the things people see on the internet, him ripping us and all that. I mean, yeah, that's part of his job. But other than that, he's a great coach. He's there to listen. He's there to help. He all around. He's there's a lot of things I can say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But Coach Davis, he's a great coach. He's a great coach. He knows a lot. He's very knowledgeable, and I'm glad to be playing under him.
Yeah, or man, when they let us, the media, go out to practice, you put a blindfold on me, I could find where the offensive line is just by listening for Brad Davis. You know what I mean?
No doubt. No doubt.
The other thing you mentioned, which is so interesting, you mentioned guys like Will Campbell and wanting to learn from him. There was a moment last year in fall camp. I shared this with our audience, but there was a moment last year in fall camp. Y'all were doing one-on-one pass rush drills, and you lost a rep. And I remember I was standing right there. And Will Campbell, he didn't say, it wasn't loud. He walked up to you and just said something. I don't know what he told you. Something kind of just low-key, casual, whatever. And then you won your next rep. And that was really indicative, I think, of his leadership style. What did you learn from from Will, from Emory Jones specifically as a freshman?
Really, so when I came in, there's they preached, the offensive line preaches bomb squad. And that means something more than football. It's hard work. It's grit. It's never giving up on your brother. I got you. You got me. So, when that happened, in that situation when that happened, everybody gets in their head after they lose a rep. I think Will saw that. He came up to me and he told me what I needed to correct, and he gave me a little word of encouragement, and I won that next rep. But learning from them, I just learned grit. You got to bite down in your mouthpiece and go. Emory Jones, he is a tough MF. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Learning from all of them, that's one thing they learned is toughness. I learned from them is toughness and grit. That's what you got to have.
LSU redshirt freshman offensive lineman Ory Williams hanging out with us here, courtesy of our friends over at the AP Sports Agency. Those guys have been awesome, man. They've been good enough to connect us with guys like AJ Halsey and Bernard Gooden and now Ory Williams as well. Hey, I want to ask you also, man, the value of spring football. I know we're going into fall camp, but you go through June workouts, fall camp, you redshirt, and then you come back in spring and you get an opportunity to get back out there when the deck is cleared a little bit, right? The 4 starters we talked about are gone. What was the value of spring football for you this year?
It was big. It was showing that I'm more than my size. I can go out there and play with the best of them. And, it was really just a big step forward into showing Coach Davis that, he can trust me and I can get on the field and play. So really this whole spring, I was just trying to show Coach that, I'm reliable and I can get on that field.
Yeah. We get to go out and see a good bit, but not everything. So, you're listed as a tackle. That's primarily where we see you, but do you cross-train ever? Do you play tackle and guard when you're out there?
I do play tackle and guard. Right now, during spring, I play the majority of guard in spring. And I kind of adjusted to it a little bit. I like it a little bit more. I'm not going to lie, but if I need to play tackle, I can. It's good to be good at both. You know what I mean? What
did you like more about guard?
More about guard. So at guard, and that's one thing I learned about from Miles Frazier. You just got to be physical. And so, coming up with them this last June, I got beat on. So now it's time for me to beat on them.
Man, I love that, dude. Sounds like you got the right attitude going into this year. I think the assumption here is that some of the transfers coming in are going to take those spots. DJ Chester is there. Is this an open competition to win jobs in fall camp?
Of course, everybody's going for a starting job right now. We got a young line. You know what I mean? We got a young group, so we're all going for a starting job. No job is secure right now.
You check his phone real quick if you would. I just want to make sure. It sounded like his phone might have checked out. I have a follow-up I want to ask him. We'll see if we can get Ory back. And again, thanks to our friends over at AP Sports Agency for hooking us up with Oregon, making this conversation happen. Good? Okay, awesome. Yeah, sorry about that, Ory. I think your phone just kind of went out a little bit on us there. Last year, a giant talking point on the season was the struggles running the football. I mean, it was a thing. How much of a focus has that been for you all, the offensive line, this offseason?
It's been a main focus for us, That's the big thing we harp on is running the ball. We're a run-the-ball-first offense, you know what I mean? So, Brian, Coach Kelly, that's what he harps on. We go through the O-line. Nothing goes through the O-line. If we're not moving the ball and creating a line of scrimmage, then what can we do? You know what I mean?
Hey, Ory, give me a guy on that offensive line who, because you have, as you mentioned, 4 starters are gone, a whole bunch of new faces and names. Give me somebody, a name that, impresses you, that you go, dude, watch that guy. Athleticism, speed, power, whatever. Who? Say again?
Karius Curran.
Why?
Karius Curran. He's an athlete all around. He's a dude. He's strong as ever. And he just comes in with the right mindset and attitude every day, ready to work. And he can definitely move people off the ball. He's a freak of nature.
Have you
definitely keep around.
Have you seen a video of him doing a backflip?
I have. I was supposed to be there. I was out of town that day, but I see it was crazy. It was crazy. He does it all the time in practice.
Could you do a backflip?
Me? Could I do a backflip? No, but I could definitely do a cartwheel.
Okay. Could you do?
I could definitely do a cartwheel.
Could you do a backflip on a trampoline?
On a trampoline, yes, I could. I cannot land it, but I can do the backflip.
Okay. Respect, man. What's your party trick? If Karius Curran can do a backflip, what's your party trick?
I can juggle.
Okay. How many items can you juggle at once?
3. I'm right there at the standard. I just started yo-yoing. Now yo-yoing is my thing. I can yo-yo like a master.
Okay. Can we get video proof?
I can. I'll make a video. I'll go by yo-yo. I'll make a video and I'll shoot y'all with it.
All right. What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is I am Big O Baller.
I am Big O Baller, and I'm following you right now. Now you got to go do a yo-yo video. See, I see you cleaned up your feet here, man. But look, go do a yo-yo video, post it, or send it to me, and I'll post it and collab with you and all that stuff. Well, I promise you, man. If you're as legit a yo-yo or as you're saying you are, we'll get that to go viral. I promise you.
Oh, well, let's do it. I got you. I'll send you the video in the next couple of days.
All right, perfect. Ory, good health, good luck this season, man. We appreciate a couple of minutes, man. Thank you.
Sounds like good. Thank you for having me on.
It's our pleasure. Ory Williams, LSU redshirt freshman offensive lineman. Man, love that. Love to get your feedback. You want to react to it, feel free. You can email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. That's a guy who maybe one day would go to SEC Media Days and crush it. By the way, our coverage of SEC Football Media Days next week is presented by Parrish Construction and Roofing. Remember, we are giving away $10,000 cash. All you have to do is sign up for a free, no-obligation roofing inspection at parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com. Go to parrishbuilt.com. We will draw for the winner on Friday, July 18th. So a week from Friday, the Friday we get home from Media Days, we're drawing for the $10,000 winner. Again, go to parrishbuilt.com to enter to win the $10,000 cash giveaway. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Do business with someone you know, parrishbuilt.com. Okay, y'all, it is after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. Of course, when we come back, LSU's baseball signees, the high school prospects. I've got the list of the guys that we're going to be sweating out for the draft, and I'll empty my notebook for you when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, big shout out to Derek Duplessis over at Duplessis Builders. He was over at Casa de Scone earlier today. I don't really call my house Casa de Scone. I just did it for this live read, sorry. But, we got a trampoline in our backyard. It's on a little side patch of grass that Drew doesn't really use much anymore. Our nieces and nephews are getting older. They don't really use the trampoline anymore. And so there's a big patch of dead grass and dirt underneath it. So if I get rid of the trampoline, do I resod it? What do I do? I thought, well, Duplessis actually does putting greens as well. They're gorgeous putting greens. what if I reconfigured this space with an awesome putting green, little chipping area as well? So Derek is over at my house today to take a look at the space and give me a proposal. So if it's that, if it's an outdoor kitchen, if it's building a pool from scratch, if it's remodeling or renovating your current pool, you want to beautify your outdoor space, let Duplessis Builders help. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies. We've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability. Because your well-being is more than a priority, it's our purpose.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Big shout out to our friends over at Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Of course, it's not only tractors and combines, but zero-turn mowers. That grass is growing fast right about now. You want that zero-turn mower, that John Deere Gator, you know where to get it. Sunshine, sunnyquip.com, sunnyquip.com. Proud partner of LSU Athletics. Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. The Major League Baseball draft starts on Sunday, and when the 2-day draft ends, we will have a much clearer picture of what the LSU baseball roster will look like for 2026. There are certain things that are a given. Cade Anderson's probably going to be the number 1 pick in the draft, but either way, he's going to sign a pro contract and he'll be gone. Anthony Ianson will be a late first, early second-round pick. Bear Jones is probably a 4th, 5th-round pick, and he's going to sign. Some of these, Daniel Dickinson will certainly sign. He'll be gone. Jacob Meyer. Some of these we know. A lot of the real questions, though, come into play when we start talking about the high school signees. And this is always the interesting question, because all of these guys, like if you are being recruited by LSU, you are a draft, just by correlation, you are a draftable prospect out of high school. So it comes down to, all right, well, what do you value? Do you want the college experience, whatever NIL rev share you're going to get, the opportunity to avoid long bus rides as an 18-year-old staying in crappy motels in minor league cities, to fly private and play in front of 10,000 people, all the things we talk about. But it really comes down to guys who have their number, and do they stick to it? What's it going to take for you not to show up at LSU or whatever college campus you've signed with, and instead sign a pro contract? So it comes down to guys, if they get that number during that draft process. So I've done this for the past handful of years, and it's always a pretty popular segment. I think a lot of people appreciate the information because, quite honestly, the recruiting information for baseball just isn't as plentiful as it is for football. Like, there's no On3 for baseball. I mean, you've got Perfect Game, which does a really good job of managing a lot of the prospects and their all their measurables, their combine numbers and everything like that. But it's not like the recruiting process that's so public for high-level football players from the time. Look at Elijah Haven, who just finished his freshman year of high school. He's or a sophomore year now, and he's already like blowing up after being a freshman. So it's you sometimes have to dig to find information on these guys. So I figured I've done this past couple of years. I've tapped into a lot of my resources, major league scouts that look at these guys. I mean, keep in mind, like right now, you may not know this, but the Perfect Game National showcase is going on in Arizona right now at the Big League Park in Arizona. And it's a multi-day event. It's invite only. It's like the top 300 prospects in the country. And it's just littered with scouts and college coaches. And it's where all the best players come. And they go through all the combine numbers and drills. And that's how they're seen. And so you share a lot of information that way. And that's for the 2026 class, by the way. So I do my best during these weeks leading up to the draft to get as much information as I can on these guys, what people generally know about what their number is, how they're leaning, what they're thinking. Will they end up on campus? Will they not? So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 LSU signees that throughout this draft process are going to have a decision to make. Now, the good news for LSU is, with the best information I have, of the 12, only 3 are virtual locks to sign pro contracts. So you got a 50-50 shot or better of getting 9 of these 12. And that doesn't even count the guys who are part of this class that are certainly going to show up on campus. I'll run through first the 3 that are certainly that are almost certainly going to sign pro contracts. We'll start with Quentin Young. So Quentin Young is a legacy. Both of his uncles had long Major League Baseball career. He is going to go somewhere in the top 35 picks of this draft. Quentin Young is a 6'5", 215-pounder. He plays infield, might project to the outfield at the next level. But he is a true, legit, elite-level prospect who will be gone in the top 30, 35 picks of this draft. I mean, there is a less than 10% chance that he ends up on campus. Expect Quentin Young to be gone. I asked Muse for a little swipe between them. Brady Ebel is next. Brady Ebel, another shortstop out of Rancho Cucamonga, California. He is 6'3", 190 pounds. He bats left, throws right. Naturally, he's a shortstop. Throws right. His dad is the third base coach for the Dodgers. He's a legit big-time bat, but here's the challenge. Even though his dad is the third base coach for the Dodgers, this is a kid from California who, while he may not be a first-round projection, which he's not, it's not a situation where you grow up loving LSU when you're growing up in California, where it's like you're set to your $2 million number, whatever the case is, or you're going to go play for LSU because you love the Tigers. Now, he's committed to LSU, but this is a guy that's probably, as I'm told, a 60-40 lean to sign a pro deal. You're not expecting Brady Ebel to end up on LSU's campus. It would be a big surprise if you get him. And the third that you're not expecting is Jaden Foskey. So he is a 6'3", 210-pound shortstop out of Illinois, Willowbrook, Illinois, left-handed bat. And he's probably, while he plays shortstop in high school, he probably projects as an outfielder, can really run. But again, that's one of those where it's a 10% shot that he ends up on campus. So Young, Ebel, Foskey, expect those three to sign pro contracts. You're not expecting those three to show up on campus. The other 9 that are up in the air, you got a really good shot. Briggs McKenzie, he is a left-handed pitcher, 6'2", 185. He's out of North Carolina. He's 50-50. He's got funky mechanics, as I'm told, but the reason he maybe doesn't project highly from MLB scouts is that he probably tops out as an effective reliever. And when big league teams are looking to draft high school pitchers, they are looking for starters, not relievers. He's a guy that I'm told could step up on LSU's campus day one and be an effective reliever with some role out of the bullpen. But those guys don't typically go at the top of the draft coming out of high school. So Briggs McKenzie, 50-50, but very well could end up on campus. Dean Moss is another one of those guys that's 50-50. He's a 6-foot, 182-pound outfielder out of California. He's got really good tools. He does everything really well. The comp I was given for Dean Moss is Daniel Cabrera. And remember, Daniel Cabrera had a really solid LSU career. Can just do everything really, really well. But Dean Moss, another 50-50 guy who likely ends up on LSU's campus. Landon Hoge, they are fully expecting that he will end up as an LSU Tiger. He plays catcher, second, and in the outfield. Got a really good arm. And the interesting thing here is teams generally aren't interested in high school catchers. It's not that it's completely unheard of, but you don't typically see high school catchers at the top of the draft. So it's one of those things where because of the position he plays, he very likely does end up on campus. Again, that's Landon Hodge, 6'2", 195, also out of California. Interesting how many prospects Jay keeps getting out of the state of California. Obviously, his ties to the West Coast, but it's another thing. Miguel Sime, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Forgive me. Sime, 6'4", 235. He's a righty out of Queens, New York. This is, as I was told, the best right-handed arm from high school in the draft. He's the best right-handed high school arm in the draft. He is up to 101 with his fastball. The problem has been command. And with that, he is a high school reliever. You're not going to see high school relievers, go at the top of the draft. So if this is a guy that's not going to be a round 1 or 2 guy, what's his number? Does he end up on campus? By the way, these guys are already enrolled. So, they're enrolled for summer, and they're already on campus getting a taste of it right now, which does benefit LSU. But he's a 50-50 for LSU. Omar Cerna, we talked about him already. The catcher, who's already said that he is withdrawing his name from the draft. He will not sign. He's out of the Houston area in Pearland. He will be an LSU Tiger. William Patrick, another one who's already enrolled. 70% chance he ends up at LSU. William Patrick is a 6'2", 200-pound outfielder out of Monroe. He is one of the best athletes in the draft. I was told he's a better athlete than Jake Brown, who's the best athlete on LSU's team. 6'2", 215. His combine numbers were off the charts. The problem with William Patrick is that his swing is going to take a little time. He has good power, but it's a long swing. It's got to get shorter, more compact, and that's something that will take time. And when it does, you're talking about a guy that will project in the top of round 1 if the swing comes around. But William Patrick, again, a guy that very likely does end up on LSU's campus out of Monroe. River Hamilton, I'm hoping he ends up on campus just so we can talk to Sharif about him. That'd be fantastic. 6'3", 185. He's out of Wood Village, Oregon. You know any LSU baseball prospects from Oregon in the past? You got any news from Oregon? Not that I remember.
Not from the high school ranks. No.
Anyway, River Hamilton, he's had injury problems, which has derailed a little bit of his senior year, which probably means he ends up at LSU. Before this season started, it was thought that River Hamilton was going to be an MLB signing. But this happens, man. This happened to Alex Bregman. This happened last year with Cade Arambidi. Guys have injuries. They struggle a little bit in their senior season. Their draft stock dips. If they stay true to their number, they end up on campus. That's likely to happen here with River Hamilton. The other two guys, Mason Braun is one that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Mason Braun is a 6-foot, 195-pounder out of South Bend, Indiana. Good on you, Jay Johnson, going up to South Bend to steal a prospect out of there. 80% chance he ends up at LSU. He does not have a scouting profile. Like big league scouts do not look at Braun, who's a 6-foot, 195-pound first baseman, as a guy with a scouting profile right now. So he likely ends up on campus. And lastly is Reagan Ricken, another one that I'm really hoping. I mean, like I don't want to get Sharif's rating just yet because it feels a bit premature. But Reagan Ricken feels pretty good, yeah?
That's strong, yeah. I mean, I think it is at least.
It's not one of Sharif's criteria is that it has to be a unique first name. And you hear the name Reagan from time to time. You do. But the alliteration with Reagan Ricken.
That's so good.
Reagan Ricken.
I really want it to be Rickens, but it's not. It's Ricken.
It's Ricken. Reagan Ricken is actually better. They both end with N. Start with R, end with N. The alliteration's better. So Reagan Ricken, he is a 6'5", 220-pound pitcher out of Temecula. Again, another 70% chance that he ends up at LSU. So to recap, the three names that almost certainly are going to sign, everybody else, by the way, will end up at LSU. The three names likely to sign are Quentin Young, Brady Ebel, Jaden Fausk. Those are the three you're expecting are going to be drafted early and sign. Briggs McKenzie, Dean Moss, Miguel Sime, those are the three that are kind of 50-50 guys you'll be holding your breath on. But everybody else, it's overwhelmingly likely that they end up at LSU. So Jay Johnson and his staff could get really lucky keeping this number one ranked signing class together. And by the way, I talked to someone today who was in Arizona for the Perfect Game National, and he said the 2026 class at LSU blows the 2025 class out the water. So, Jay Johnson, his relentless efforts in recruiting do not go unnoticed, as we all are well aware. But the next crop, we'll find out which ones are going to be Tigers by, likely many of them by this weekend. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. I was actually over at Rouse's on Sunday. We're having Drew's birthday party this weekend, so was out stocking up on all the adult beverages, the beverages for the kiddos, the chips and the dips, and all the stuff like that. Of course, you could do it at Rouse's. Best place to shop for a party or for any day. It's at Rouse's. The official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. You can get to Rouse's.com. You can download the Rouse's app. Always encourage you to download the Rouse's app because it saves you time and money. Remember, pick out your items. Your personal shopper will go pick them up, pull into one of the designated spaces, and they bring it out to your car. It's at Rouse's. Summertime, y'all. Build your perfect burger. You're heading for the grill, that perfect steak. You can get it all at Rouse's. Everything you need. Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. All right, y'all. Glad you're hanging out with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR. We'll talk to Lyle Collins in 1 hour from right now. Lyle's got a camp coming to Baton Rouge this weekend with his former high school coach and the current mayor, Sid Edwards. So excited to have Big L on the show. We'll do that next hour. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, the biggest name remaining in free agency at cornerback His dad was blasting one of the teams that Saints are in contention for his services. We'll tell you who next on AFR.
AFR.
90 degrees. 90. 9-0. I don't even want to check the heat index, but I'll tell you it's hot. And you know when it's 90 degrees with a heat index in the triple digits and your AC goes out, that sucks. So, if you're faced with that miserable situation, call River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. You can spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. They're always on time or you don't pay a dime. See, River City's 1 Hour Air, they value two things more than any other, your time and your money. They're always on time or you don't pay a dime, where if they're 1 minute late, you don't come out of pocket 1 cent, and they value your money as well. They're going to give you a good, better, and best option, and you choose what's better for you, your family, your budget. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks. River City's 1 Hour Air.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
In about 21 minutes at the top of hour 3, I do want to talk about Brian Kelly and Austin Thomas adding another support staffer from Ole Miss. I think everybody saw that story on I think everybody saw that story on Monday night. If you didn't, Kelvin Bolden was a support staff member at Ole Miss. Worked with Austin Thomas there for a year. He'd been there the last 3 years. Now he's coming to Baton Rouge. I have some thoughts on that, why I think it's significant, We'll get to that here in about 22 minutes from right now at the top of hour number 3. We are about a week away, actually the 23rd, about 2 weeks away from the start of Saints training camp. They're set to report there on July 23rd. And it's obvious that while you have a 90-man roster right now, your final roster is far from set. Clearly, you're gonna have roster cuts to get down to 53, and then we always talk about the 53. It's never the final 53. It's the first 53 because as other teams cut, you're going to ultimately sign other teams' free agents that were cut loose that are players that you maybe see as more valuable than ones you have. So long ways from the roster being set. But one of the players that has been tied to New Orleans this offseason, has visited the New Orleans Saints already, is Asante Samuel Jr. because he had played in Los Angeles for the Chargers under Saints defensive coordinator Brandon Staley. So that tie is a very natural fit why the free agent cornerback could work in New Orleans, understands the defense, the defensive coordinator is a relationship, the Saints staff is interested in Samuel Jr. and all that sort of stuff. For what it's worth, Asante Samuel Jr. is recovering from neck surgery. He only played in 4 games a year ago. And in May, the Dolphins were showing interest in Asante Samuel Jr. And it would stand to reason that the Dolphins have even more interest now after trading Jalen Ramsey. They're in need of a good starting caliber cornerback. Well, Asante Samuel Jr.'s father, longtime NFL defensive back Asante Samuel Sr., was on his podcast called Say What Needs to Be Said with Asante Samuel Sr. Creative. Call a thing by its name. And Asante Samuel Sr. just laid into the Miami Dolphins. Give a listen.
Dolphins had no reason to trade Jalen Ramsey other than they're sensitive. There's no leadership in the Dolphins organization. Mike McDaniels is a pushover. Chris Greer, the general manager, he has no backbone. These guys over here at the Miami Dolphins, they are running this team like a little league team. No one can stand up to the players. They're terrified of their own players, and they have no control over their players.
I mean, I could just see Asante Jr. calling and going, Dad, shut what are you doing? I'm trying to get a job. What are you doing? That's only 32 of these, man. I guess when you're out of the league, you can say what you want. You say what you want anyway. And Asante Samuel Jr. has Senior has a lot of cachet. And I don't think he's saying anything that any of us would disagree with. By the way, this dropped into my inbox today from sportsbetting.ag, the updated odds for the first NFL coach to be fired. Brian Daboll of the Giants has the best or worst odds, at depending on who you ask, at 4-1. Next is Mike McDaniel, Miami, at 5-1. So he ain't wrong. But when your son is trying to get a job, I don't think Miami, I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not in the front office of Miami, but it stands to reason if you're the Dolphins brass, you're looking at it going, okay, why would we sign this player when his dad is on a podcast ripping our organization? Do you really want that distraction? Now, a lot of that is weighed and measured by how good the player is. The better player you are, the more you're going to get away with. Naturally, that's true in every sport. Dennis Rodman's kicking cameramen in the groin. It doesn't matter. Dennis Rodman's, we also on The Last Dance. He's taking his own vacation during the NBA Finals to Vegas because he needed to blow off some steam. Well, he was the worm, and he was one of the best rebounders in the history of the NBA. Yeah, Dennis, go take your time in Vegas and just make sure you're back here for tip-off. Like, when you're the last guy on the roster trying to make the team, you're not going to get that same leniency. And Asante Samuel Jr. has been a good defensive back, but he's coming off a neck injury where he played only 4 games. I mean, for a dude that's later on in his career and is coming off a really serious injury that's had injury problems, like, it's not like teams are rushing to sign him. And his dad popping off probably doesn't help. I'm not saying he's wrong, and he's certainly entitled to his opinion. He's doing a show. That's fine. It's great content, but probably not great for your son's opportunity to get a job. And I think you, by extension, if you're New Orleans, you might say, well, great. That opens up the door for the Saints to be able to sign him if Miami's not interested. Maybe But I could look at it also and say, if you're the Saints and you're trying to brand a new culture, do you want to introduce that into your locker room where you're trying to get younger, you're going to have a rookie quarterback? Like, what happens if you sign Asante Samuel Jr. and after the first game, let's say the Saints lose and Tyler Shuck throws 3 picks, is Asante Samuel Sr. going to go on his podcast and annihilate Kellen Moore and a rookie quarterback? Like, is that what you want around the organization? I mean, there was a lot of that with Eli Apple and his mother Annie. And again, I'm not saying people shouldn't be have an opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, but also understand that with that opinion comes consequences. Like, I'm not an NFL player, but I live with that every day of my life. I sit here and I give you very loud, passionate opinions. And as a result, look, a lot of people like it. A lot of people love the show, have for a long time. A lot of you don't. And that's okay. And so I got to live with that. I always say the worst part about being in the opinion media is giving opinions because you're going to piss a lot of people off. So do you, but understand that's at least going to pose the question for New Orleans. And listen, New Orleans is a team that desperately needs starting caliber cornerbacks. You're going into this season with Kool-Aid McKinstry and Quincy Riley, the rookie out of Louisville, maybe? I mean, is Isaac Yiadom the answer as a starter in the NFL? Alante Taylor is a slot or a safety. I mean, his PFF grades were among the worst in the NFL last year when he moved to corner after you had, you traded Lattimore and you had the injury to Paulson Adebo. So you can tell me you have when healthy, a Pro Bowl caliber cornerback that you could sign. It's going to make you a better team. Is it worth the headache? That's the question the Saints will have to answer. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Evermore, EVA-MOR. Drink Evermore. Always got my Evermore here on set with me. I keep the 64-ounce bottles in my house. We also have the 20-ounce bottles, the 32-ounce bottles, depending on what you want. I mean, these are great. You take a 64-ounce bottle with you all throughout the day. You drink it. Make sure you stay hydrated. Listen, even if you're inside all day, sometimes we forget to stay hydrated. It's a great part of your overall health. And, of course, making sure you're healthy this time of year when it's so hot outside. We lose a lot of things our body needs to stay hydrated and stay healthy. It's Evermore. Drink Evermore. EVA-MOR, evermore.com. Available online and at great local retailers. EVA-MOR, evermore.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Tuesday show is powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Final break of Hour 2. Mutual have Tigers and the Pros coming up next hour. I do want to give you my thoughts on LSU hiring that Ole Miss staffer. The Saints have teased a new helmet design. Lyle Collins will be here in about 45 minutes. Don't you move. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
I just found out that we're going to be doing a show at the Watermark coming up here in a few weeks. Tell you more about that when we have details. But the Watermark in downtown Baton Rouge, I tell you often, is Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. Voted by you the best hotel in the best of 225. It wins all the awards. The Watermark Hotel is the picture of luxury in downtown Baton Rouge. And even if you're not, I mean, look, it's great for a staycation. Maybe you didn't take that vacation this summer to the beach or wherever. A great staycation could be staying at the Watermark in downtown Baton Rouge. Maybe you're listening from outside of Baton Rouge. Come into Baton Rouge. Stay at the Watermark downtown. Dine at the Gregory. See what downtown Baton Rouge has to offer. Visit LSU's campus. Ton to do. But the Watermark, y'all, it's right there. It's the old Louisiana National Bank building that they've converted into this gorgeous, sprawling hotel where they've maintained so much of the historical significance of that building while adding the modern amenities. It's the Watermark Hotel in downtown Baton Rouge. Check it out today. Watermark, Baton Rouge.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. our clients come first.
At Luva, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She thinks my tractor's sexy. It really turns her on.
Wrapping up hour number 2, and glad to have you hanging out with us here. We are powered by Sunshine. We are painted in green in studio every single Tuesday, thanks to our friends at Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Muso Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Well, it might not be long for Gage Jump.
Oh!
Saw this today. Baseball America reporting Gage Jump is now the top prospect in the the Sacramento Athletics organization.
Are they going by the Sacramento A's?
I have
or are they still going by the Oakland A's that just play in Sacramento?
I think they're just going by the Athletics. Like, I don't think they have a city attached to them. But they're playing in Sacramento.
Yeah.
That's why I said that. But he's the top prospect in their organization now, again, per Baseball America. Remember, 2 levels of minor league ball for him. Started in high A, dominated, got moved up to double A. He's got a 1.90 ERA in 9 starts. Has punched out 49 and 47 and a third. Might not be long. Gage Jump, number 1 prospect in the A's organization. Paul Gervais is on the bump in relief for the Rays last night against first-place Tigers. 2 innings, gave up 2 homers. Those were the earned runs, but did strike out 3 in his 2 innings of relief as well. Did not factor into the decision. Josh Smith. He got snubbed again. You see that?
I did. You think I missed that?
Yeah. Came off the 2 years in a row. Let's clean it up. Came off the bench in a pinch hit opportunity, delivered double, his 13th of the year.
That's what we do.
And it drove in a run. Josh Smith, 285, 13 doubles, just shy of 30 RBI. What are we doing? This is just a shame. Should be in the All-Star game. Angel Reese. Nope. See, that's an all-boys school. And plus, she's from Maryland. She went 5-9 from the floor, double-double, 22 points, 15 boards. The Sky stinks, so they got dominated again. But Angel Reese, another good night, another double-double. That's Tigers in the pros.
Presented by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Y'all, this is the time. Look, you know what it's like. You're sitting there listening to me right now. You know what it's like. Hunting season will be here before you know it in the fall. And you're going to be sharing that lease again, and you're going to be annoyed by someone else killing your buck, and you're going to be annoyed by someone else waking you up or just being annoying, and you're going to say, one day, I'm going to get my own piece of property. Well, let that day be today, or at least let today be the day you make that first phone call. First South Farm Credit. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Go to firstsouthland.com. You can learn more about First South Farm Credit. You can see all the locations, whichever location is nearest you. And it doesn't matter. You're trying to buy 20 acres in St. Francisville, 100 acres in Mississippi, 500 acres in New Mexico. You want to buy land in the lower 48? First South Farm Credit can help you do it. So go to firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com for First South Farm Credit. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Former Tiger great Lyle Collins will be here in 35 minutes. Excited about that. Right after SportsCenter, we'll come back, and I got some thoughts on LSU hiring another support staff member from Ole Miss. It's going to be a different spin on it and why this is relevant that maybe you haven't heard yet. We'll get to that. So excited about it as Hour 3 is staring us straight in the face. Jimmy's back today as well, so we will have Otter Locks. Hour 3 next.
After further review.
Had a meeting over at the Parish office today, and the folks over at Parish Restoration were running their trucks in and out all day. So many of your friends and neighbors, business owners trust Parish Restoration. This is the patented non-toxic dry fog treatment I've told you about for years now. You want to kill mold, you want to move odor, you want to get rid of other harmful pathogens down to the spores, you want Parish Restoration. It's the most effective and the most cost-effective treatment. It's Parish Restoration. Go to parishrestoration.com. Parishrestoration.com is a little form on the homepage. Take it 30 seconds to fill it out. Someone will be in touch immediately with you as you'll get a quote, what it'll take to completely clean and to sanitize that space, whatever it may be. Maybe it's after water intrusion or a fire. Maybe you need to get rid of pet odor, smoke odor, whatever it is. Parish Restoration can help. Go to parishrestoration.com. That's parishrestoration.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, They cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, Ice Cubes.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Shams Charania reports Mavericks forward Anthony Davis is now recovering from a procedure for a detached retina. After getting traded to Dallas in February, Davis played only 11 games for the Mavericks, including 2 play-in games. He expects to be ready for training camp. The offseason has already featured multiple multi-team trades, including that 7-team deal involving Kevin Durant. How do these complicated trades happen? ESPN's Bobby Marks.
July 1 starts the new calendar year, and most of these deals are agreed upon by 2 weeks before, and you basically have that window there to basically expand it however you want to.
Bobby Marks on game night. The Mets put outfielder Starling Marte on the injured list with a right knee bruise. Quarterfinal winners at Wimbledon today. Americans Amanda Anisimova and Taylor Fritz, along with Carlos Alcaraz and Arina Sabalenka. Another day of quarterfinals tomorrow starting at 8 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and ESPN2.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote renter's insurance at progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2. Not hour 2. We're going to go to hour 3. We're not going backwards. This is not Back to the Future, friends. There is no DeLorean getting up to 88 miles an hour. Roads, or we're going, we don't need roads. None of that stuff. This is not hour 2. It's hour 3. Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Miggity, Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Former Tiger great Lyle Collins will be here in 30 minutes from right now, 27 minutes to be exact, as he's got a camp that he's going to be holding this weekend with current mayor, his former high school coach, Sid Edwards, over at Redemptor. So they got a camp coming up this weekend, and let Lyle tell you more about it. And excited about it. I mean, we'll talk some ball with him, see how Lyle's feeling, talk his career, all that good stuff coming up. So glad to have you aboard with us. Glad to have Lyle here in about 30 minutes from right now. Shea Dixon on Monday night broke the news that Kelvin Bolden, leaving his position as the director of recruiting strategy at Ole Miss for LSU as the Tigers' assistant general manager. So, a promotion for Kelvin Bolden. Naturally, wouldn't leave Ole Miss otherwise. But when I saw this, there's a few things that came to mind that I think are relevant as we sort of paint the picture of what LSU and what college staffs are going to look like as we move forward. And I hope this brings you some value as I kind of talk through this a little bit. So first of all, Bolden, I think, is a significant add. We'll start there. This is a guy who was very well respected there in Oxford, is from Mississippi, from Ocean Springs, played at Southern Miss, so a guy with Mississippi ties and very heavily connected in Mississippi. When you look at the fact that LSU has done an exceptional job recruiting Mississippi already Tristan Keys, the 5-star receiver out of Hattiesburg, is committed to LSU. The top 2 offensive linemen in Mississippi for 2026 are committed to LSU. Tyler Miller, the number 1 offensive lineman in Mississippi in the 25 class, is currently an LSU Tiger. So you had another really key player in recruiting your border state, which is significant. But even more so, remember, Scott Woodward brought Austin Thomas back to LSU as the general manager. And we have to reframe what we think about that role from what it was to what it is. It's no longer just recruiting. When Ed Ogeron named Austin Thomas general manager nearly a decade ago now, and he became the first of its kind with that title in the SEC, there was no NIL, there was no rev share. At that point, it was just, he was sort of the figurehead of the recruiting effort from the staff standpoint. Now, it more closely resembles what an NFL general manager does in managing the roster, and now NIL, rev share, how you distribute those funds, how you weigh those funds. And so if Austin Thomas is building a staff and goes back to guys he worked with at Ole Miss and was like, I need that guy, and you get him, that's significant. Remember, they did it back in April when they added Jai Shuderi, who was one of the analytics guys that had been on staff there at Ole Miss. He's now at LSU. Well, now you've added Kelvin Bolden as well as the assistant general manager. And I think one of the real key storylines this offseason at LSU has been staff turnover. Now, I think part of that is tightening the belt in the revenue share era. Remember, last year, LSU Athletics lost about $800,000. You operated in the black. So, excuse me, in the red. You lost money a year ago. About $800,000. Now, after losing money a year ago, you're going to add $20 million in expenses with revenue share? Well, you got to increase revenue and you got to decrease expenses. Well, part of decreasing expenses is getting rid of unnecessary personnel or personnel that are deemed expendable. And so what you've seen in the staff this year is a lot of this turnover. Jazz Smith was your operations man, your director of football operations. She exited, and they promoted J.R. Belton from within. Well, J.R. Belton, in being promoted, left vacant his director of recruiting title. They promoted Donovan Tate from within into J.R. Belton's old role. Remember, Nick Brissett, no longer part of the staff. Jacoby Stevens, no longer part of the staff. We saw Preston Tiffany leave for a job with the Philadelphia Eagles. We saw Jordan Arcemont leave for a job with one of the top sports agencies in the country. So, with Athletes First. So, you've seen a lot of turnover. And then you've seen the addition of some new staff members like Kelvin Bolden here and Jai Shuderi, who we just mentioned as well. But the tightening the belt is part of it. The other part is putting together a staff that can help you navigate building a roster in the rev share era. And this is one thing that I don't think many people have paid attention to yet. So if you rewind the clock about a year or so, Bayou Traditions, LSU's collective, hired Jared Wilson to be the president and kind of help run sort of the day-to-day operations of the collective. And he was on a one-year deal. And that deal was up July 1 because everyone was expecting the revenue share piece to come into play. And there was going to be an uncertain future for collectives. Well, Jared's contract wasn't renewed. So, and by the way, just full disclosure, Jared worked here with us at Guarantee in 2 different stints. His wife's a volleyball coach at LSU, Jill, and I know Jared very well. He had a great opportunity, took it for that year with LSU. Contract wasn't renewed. So the president of the collective is no longer there, but I did confirm today that the collective is still very much operational. And what was so interesting about the conversation wasn't just about the collective being operational. It's about what the collective's role is probably going to become. Because as we sit here and talk about revenue share, and we know these numbers, like these are hard and fast numbers. $20.5 million 75% is going to football. That's $13.5 million. So LSU will allocate $13.5 million of that revenue share to its football roster that'll be divided among its scholarship players based on merit, right? However they seem fit. That's what Austin Thomas and his staff will do. But what hasn't gone away is high school NIL. And before you sigh and groan and roll your eyes, understand what I'm saying. High school NIL is very much legal. And because they're not college student athletes yet, those deals don't have to go through a clearinghouse. So, are you following me? So if you want to, school A identifies prospect B that they would like to sign, they could go do a NIL deal with that prospect while they're in high school, independent of rev share. So they can say, look, when you're on campus, you're going to get X rev share, but you commit to us now, we'll give you this in an NIL deal right now in high school. Like, that's something I know for a fact, firsthand, that LSU has been working on. I don't mind disclosing this. I had a meeting with Jordan Arcemont at LSU some months ago about using this show as part of the deliverables for a lot of these NIL deals. Like, student athlete A has an NIL deal, has to show deliverables. Okay, come on my show. They can promote whatever business they want. I don't care. What I want is the content. You're going to tell me you're going to sign a 5-star receiver and I can get him to sit next to me for 10 minutes on the show. My audience gets the content, but in exchange, they get to promote, wear a shirt, promote whatever business they're doing deals with. I'm all for that. Great, let's do it. So, point is, LSU has very much been thinking along these lines already in the high school NIL terms. Now, Jordan's now working for Athletes First, but the point being, the high school NIL component of this part is the thing that many people aren't talking about that could be the most significant next evolution of NIL. Are schools doing NIL deals with high school students to get them that cash before they show up to campus and rev share kicks in? And that's why managing all of this, you need whatever amount of staff you can have committed to making sure the money is there and it's allocated appropriately, in addition to the relationships built with the student athletes so they end up on campus. But then there's this whole other question of how much effort do you put into high school recruiting? How much effort do you put into transfer portal? And I think we're going to continue to see that evolve as we have a larger sample size. Like, LSU was reducing their portal classes every year under Brian Kelly, to where a year ago they signed nine portal members, and none of them were super impact guys. You had guys who played, but they weren't All-Americans, all-conference guys. Now you sign 18. You doubled your class. Why? And they're all impact guys. If you go win a championship, deep run playoff, whatever, and you did it on the backs of a team built through the portal, why am I wasting 3 years building teams with high school guys? Just go build another portal class the next year, and the next year, and the next year. I'm inverting that number. I'm reducing my high school nut, and I'm spending more of it on portal because that's what's shown is the way to win. Again, we don't know that definitively, but if it shows that and proves to be the case, why wouldn't you keep doing that? So you can look at this news. Kelvin Bolden coming over from Ole Miss as they added another support staff member we'll probably never see publicly facing or hear from again. But the work they're doing is massively impactful because this is how rosters are being built now. Yes, it matters when coaches jump on planes and they go fly to see prospect X at his high school game and you build that relationship. Yes, that matters. I'm not minimizing that. But it's not the only thing that matters anymore in recruiting and building a roster in 2025 and beyond. All right, it's after further review. You want to react to any that you can. You can email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. We are brought to you by Supper Club. They are reopened. Supper Club was closed for the 4th of July on Friday, Saturday, and they're always closed Sunday, Monday. So after 4 days off, Supper Club is back and open. I'll tell you what, Tuesday, July the 8th, 5:14 in the afternoon. You're knocking off of work. You're heading home. Don't go home. Go to Supper Club on Perkins Road. Moscona and all of a sport coat. Doesn't matter. As long as you got a collar shirt, you meet the dress code. Moscona and all of a reservation. Open seating at the bar. Look, there's times it's really hard to get into Supper Club. I'm not going to lie to you. There are times it's hard. There are busy days and weekends get packed, and it's an awesome place. And there's a reason the reputation has what it has. It's awesome. It's the best restaurant in Baton Rouge. People come from all over the state and the region to come eat at Supper Club because there are things on the menu you can only get at Supper Club. But it's open seating at the bar. You want to walk in on a Tuesday afternoon after work at 5 o'clock, have a glass of wine with a cocktail, enjoy a great whiskey drink, whatever the case may be. Maybe have dinner at the bar. Maybe you get lucky and there's a table and you get to have dinner at a table. Whatever. It's never a bad night to go to Supper Club. After being closed for the last 4 days, tonight's a great night. Supper Club, BTR.com for your reservation. SupperClubBTR.com. Okay, y'all, it is after further review. Fired up to be here, man. After a good long vacation, out for 11 days. Good to be back yesterday and back rolling along today. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. The Saints have teased a new helmet design. I got thoughts on that. And then Lyle Collins here in about 15 minutes from right now. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Big shout out to my buddy Jareth Knockan over at Glow Resources. My goodness gracious. Got back from vacation. Went and got all my mail here at the office. The Baton Rouge Business Report. Top 100 private companies list was there. Started flipping through it. And saw a lot of really familiar names and faces. And among them was Jareth Knockan, Glow Resources, on that list of the top 100 private companies in the area. And so proud of all the work that they've done, the growth, the amazing explosive growth they've had. And what's so important to remember is, yes, Glow has offices now in New Orleans, in Miami, in Orlando, in Houston, and in Mississippi. And yes, they've grown to a company that helps businesses globally with their staffing issues. But home base is right here in Baton Rouge. And they're still one of the biggest private companies in Baton Rouge. And their corporate headquarters right here in Baton Rouge. So, if you're a business owner and you need to find the right people for your business, you need Glow Resources.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
With bold leadership and a growing population, Louisiana is rewarding excellence, attracting high-value companies, and fueling opportunity. Louisiana is winning now, and the sky is the limit. With every region and industry growing across a beautiful state that's more than a culture, it's a community with a quality of life that's more than satisfying. It's sustainable because the Louisiana you thought you knew is better than ever now. Come home, Louisiana.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority.
It's our purpose.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Well, she ain't into cars or pickup trucks, but if it runs like a deer, man, her eyes light
All right. Let's talk about it. The New Orleans Saints have teased a new helmet design. Apparently, the NFL is going down this path. Okay. We know that you can have alternates, and they're trying to not screw it up and let you have multiple helmet designs and things like that, although the Saints continue to screw it up, despite having just absolutely gorgeous color rush uniforms. The old 67 throwbacks are awesome as well, but they continue to muck it up by having the helmet of the new gold helmet not matching the gold of the old gold from the 67 throwbacks or of the color rush uniforms, or they've done what should be an absolute abomination in the eyes of the football gods, and that is put those absolutely heinous black helmets on their color rush uniforms, which, by the way, the New Orleans Saints are winless in their heinous black helmets. Did you know that, Muse? They're winless in the black helmets.
I did not know that.
Winless in the black. What does that tell you?
Yeah, it's a horrible helmet.
I mean, some might argue that correlation does not equal causation. In this instance, it seems very clear to me. Across multiple seasons, every time you wear those heinous black helmets, you lose. And you know what? Conceptually, a black helmet ain't a terrible idea, Muse. They got those old ones from 67. Not a bad look. You get the black helmet with the big fleur-de-lis with the old gold and maybe like the white face masks. Not bad.
Real good, actually.
You can do a lot with that.
Yeah.
But you take what conceptually could be a good idea and you make a heinous helmet design with those stupid little mini fleur-de-lis and the little ascending or widening thing in the back. To like, what are you doing? Who looked at that and went, yeah, we got it. We got it.
This is the one.
This is it.
Yeah.
We nailed it. I mean, anyway, so tomorrow on the 9th, on July the 9th, the New Orleans Saints will unveil a new helmet design. Today on social media, on July the 8th, they posted a photo. It just says July 9th, 2025. It's a floating helmet, and it's blacked out a little bit. You can just see a little bit of the top, as if like someone put a sheet of paper in front of the light so it wasn't completely casting the light on the helmet. So you could only see maybe a little bit of the top right there. It's not giving away anything. The one thing we know for sure is that there's a fleur-de-lis on the side. You could see that
Makes sense.
at the top of the logo.
Yeah.
You can see right there. There's a fleur-de-lis right there. And it looks like, as I zoom in, Muse, it looks like we have two-tone stripes. Looks like we're going to have a black stripe down the middle and a white stripe on either side of the black stripe. And as you zoom in, you can see the white stripe there has little gold specks. Can you see that?
Do we think that's on the helmet, or is that just a screen effect?
Well, it could be a screen effect. I'm looking at that. I looked at that and thought that is gold specks on the white stripe.
Oh, I really hope it's not.
Are we really doubting that the same people who came up with the heinous black helmet design would do anything other than put gold specks all over the white stripe?
I mean, I'm not doubting it. I'm just hoping that they see the light and correct the mistakes.
They're terrible at this. They're going to screw it up. I am sitting here today hopeful that when this helmet unveiled, and I'm not opposed to an alternate helmet, by the way. I often say, if you have a classic look, go with your classic look. If you are the Yankees pinstripes, if you are the Celtics with your solid jerseys and the script or the bold Celtics across the chest. If you have an undeniably iconic look, the Green Bay Packers, your gold helmet, your green jersey, your gold pants, we all know it. Do your iconic thing. Don't muck it up. The Saints do not have an iconic thing. They're my favorite team. Their color scheme is heinous. Excuse me. Their color scheme is heinous. It's bad. For most of my life, Saints apparel in black and gold has been awful. In recent years, they've done much better by just muting it a little bit. Sticking with block letters, making the fleur-de-lis a little smaller. You go like gray with New Orleans Saints, like the 67 thing in the middle. Like, there's good stuff. They've done better in recent years. The Sir Saint thing, that logo for a little while, bringing him back was a solid choice. But the Saints do not have an iconic look. So you want to change it up and try to find something better? Okay. Like, they've had multiple uniform variations throughout the many years. I'm good with that. I'm perfectly fine with them varying the uniform. What would we like to see from the helmet Muse?
I mean, look, I'm going to be kind of bland here. I would like to see it be the complete inverse of their current gold helmet, just white. Like a white helmet, same thing, the stripe, but, obviously black and gold on the stripe. And preferably, I would like it to be the old gold so it would match the color rush, and you could just look incredible even though you're probably down 4 touchdowns on the scoreboard.
But what if they don't wear the color rush jerseys with these helmets? Then your gold doesn't match.
That's true.
By the way, I completely agree.
Yeah.
White helmet, old gold fleur-de-lis, black. Well, probably I would prefer like the black and the old gold stripe instead of a black and white stripe, but I could be convinced either way. I'd probably have to see it. A little more visual in that respect. But I'm not opposed to a white helmet. Just like I'm not opposed to the black helmet. Just their execution of it was awful.
What was the helmet? It was what kind of helmet?
The black helmet?
Yeah.
That black helmet is a heinous helmet design.
Yeah.
How did they screw that up so bad? I mean, I'll tell you, they wore that black helmet, I believe, as the legend goes, in the, I think it might have been 69. They wore it in the preseason, and they did not get approval from the league to wear it, so they were banned from wearing it again. And now with the whole, you could wear multiple, an alternate helmet, they brought back a black helmet. So I'm good. Use the helmet from 67, which was fire. Like, use the old black helmet. Yeah. Instead of whatever the heinous thing that they did.
There's nothing good about it. I mean, you mentioned the polka dot fleur-de-lis on it down the middle. The fleur-de-lis on the side of it is smaller.
Look, somebody did this. Someone used some filtering to take the photo that the Saints put out there just to reveal this. White helmet. It looks metallic. The logos, the stripes and the logo all looks metallic gold face mask, which is probably, I think this is probably what it's going to be. I think it's going to be sort of a metallic look.
I don't love that.
I don't either.
But, I mean, we'll see. While you were out, there was also a report that they're going to get a new uniform as well that they'll announce at some point this month also. Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, that's
this is
perfect.
an updated version of the old helmet. Metallic silver face mask, which I can live with, but the gold stripe down the middle, white stripe on either side, the old gold fleur-de-lis, the large old gold fleur-de-lis on the side. Beautiful. Do that thing. Do the thing that everybody would go, love it. Don't do the thing when everybody's excited about the possibility you do the thing everybody would love, and then you do the thing everybody hates, which is what the Saints typically do. Who runs that department? Who runs that department? I'll help you for free. You don't have to pay me. I'll do it for free. I'll take a week off. I don't even need a week. I need half a day. I need an hour. Give me 10 minutes. I'll walk in with that old helmet and say, do this. You know what you don't do?
What don't you do?
This. You don't do that. Because that is heinous. Lyle Collins next.
AFR.
Man, I got a text last night about 11:47 at night. from Darren James. Wishing me a happy birthday. It was 13 minutes early. Should it count? That's my question. Should it count? I don't know. What I do know is this. Darren James is an awesome dude. Been a friend of mine and been a great supporter of this program since 2011. And I will, for as long as he allows me, I will sing his praises from the mountaintops as not only a great realtor, but a great man, husband, father, person, Christian, all of it. And if you need someone who is going to work their behind off to get your home sold faster for more money, nobody better than Darren James. Also, in the Business Report's top 100 private companies this year. Congrats to my friend Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luva, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Glad you're rolling along with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We will get Jimmy here with us for our Otter Locks in about 15 minutes from right now. We'll look forward to that. Every time we have a chance to talk to former Tigers, we always appreciate that, especially when they're doing great things in and around the community. And former Tiger great Lyle Collins is doing that in conjunction with his former coach, now the mayor of Baton Rouge, Sid Edwards, with a youth camp they have coming up later this week. And Lyle's good enough to join us now. Lyle, great to have you, man. It's been a minute. How are you?
Hey, Matt, how you doing? Man, it's definitely great to hear your voice and be back on the show, man. I'm looking forward to coming back home this week, this Friday, from a camp, and man, just
That's awesome, man. Hey, so we'll fill everybody in, man. Where are you living right now? What's going on? What's the latest?
Okay. So right now I'm in Dallas. I kept my house here. Obviously, when I left, I went to Cincinnati for a couple years, and then ended up signing with Buffalo last year. I signed a 1-year deal with them, but wasn't quite truly back healthy. But now, man, I'm 100%. I can finally say that, and feeling really good. I've been training down here in Dallas with my trainer Duke Mayweather. He's one of the best offensive line gurus, and whatever you want to call it, man. He's got this thing down to a science, and I've been feeling great, just focused and really just owning in on my craft, and really excited about year 11 here.
Yeah, man. So still playing, thinking of are we just waiting for the phone to ring for a camp invite? Give us a sense of where that stands right now.
So right now, my agent, he's been talking to actually a few teams, and man, what's crazy about the NFL, anything can happen, right? I mean, you got Kellen over there down in New Orleans. We've been talking a little bit. Hopefully, you never know what could happen, and I mean, hey, I could easily end up back here in Dallas. So, just right now, just really been focusing on my personal just growth in terms of football, mental, and just all those great things, just to make sure that I'm hitting on all cylinders, once the season starts.
Yeah, man. Love to hear that. All right, I got to ask you a follow-up on New Orleans, but I'll come back to that because I want to make sure we get all we got to get and remind people about the camp and what's going on, man. So it's coming up in 3 days, man. This Friday, you're going to be back in Baton Rouge for a football camp in conjunction with Sid Edwards. First of all, how did it all come together?
Wow, man. I got a call from Mayor Sid Edwards, and it was just like one of those things where, I mean, you can't even describe it, right? I mean, you get a call from the mayor, and obviously the background with Mayor and Coach Sid Edwards, just the level of just greatness that he has been able to accomplish throughout his life, man, is next to. He's the greatest. He's a guy that I look up to, a guy that I admire a lot, and to have him reach out to me and want to be a part of this thing. Obviously I try to do this as much as I can, and it's something that I want to continue to do. So to have him, get on board with this and really take lead, take charge, it means a lot, because there's so much knowledge there, right? I mean, just in terms of everything that he's done, everything he's doing now, there's so much that we'll be able to offer to these young guys. I mean, they're the future, the generations to come, and hopefully, everything just goes really smooth. These guys just come out here and compete at the highest level, and we'll be putting in the work and really grinding, and I always look forward to just when you see those kids out there, just the way they compete. I mean, obviously when you're from Louisiana, it's hot, so it's like you're either grinding or you go pass out there. So I mean, these guys though, when they come every year I've done this camp, guys come out there with a great attitude and a great mindset, and they really get after it. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Man, August in Buffalo is a little different than July in Baton Rouge, right?
Oh, man, it's a big difference, man. It's a big difference. But I tell you what, it's kind of a competitive edge as you grow as a young athlete in Louisiana. That heat is definitely like wearing a weighted vest throughout your workout. So for guys coming out of Louisiana, those extra pushing through and getting through all that, through with that heat, I mean, it's only going to make you better. It's only going to make you great. So just keep working hard. Just keep grinding.
Former Tiger great Lyle Collins joining us now. This Friday, got a youth football camp in conjunction with Mayor Sid Edwards over at Memorial Stadium. The camp, it's one day, starts at 4 p.m. It's for ages 6 to 18. We'll give the registration info, but is this for anybody? Like, is there a registration fee or anything like that, or just anybody that registers can come out?
Oh yeah, anybody that registers, it's a free camp. We'll have T-shirts. All they need to do is just bring their football cleats. We'll be giving them lunch. I'm even working on finalizing some water slides for the kids. So. We'll have a DJ out there. I mean, we're gonna have hydration stations for the kids. We're just gonna really have fun, and really get after it. So, I mean, and shout out to all the people that's just helping me put on this thing and help support this thing. I couldn't do it without the great support from my hometown and the people that are in it. So, very grateful.
What's it like knowing your form? We're going to give the website, by the way, out here in a sec where you can go to register. We'll share it on all our social medias too. But what's it like knowing your former high school football coach is the mayor of Baton Rouge?
Well, Sid wasn't my high school coach.
Was Guy there when you were there?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mastretta.
Yeah.
Coach Guy Mastretta was my high school coach, and man, shout out to Coach Mastretta.
Yeah.
He is truly an amazing man and person, and definitely wouldn't be where I am today without Mastretta, 100%. And so, but it's cool to be able to. This was my first time meeting him when I came back down, and so to meet Mayor Sid Edwards and sit down and talk with them, a lot of history, obviously, and just obviously, when you think about the school, the high school, and the legacy that was left behind. It's just amazing. And we always talk about if there's a way that we could bring Redemptors back, we'd be all in for it. So hopefully that can happen. Hopefully that happens one day. I would love to see that school come back and just all the history. It means so much.
Yeah, my wife's family, they're all Redemptorist alums. So long list of their family grew up there by St. Jared, and we're all Redemptorist alums. So there's a lot of love still in the community with a lot of Redemptorist families around. But Lyle, of course, great Redemptorist alum. Coach Sid won state titles both at football and basketball coach at Redemptor. I didn't realize you two. It's been a minute, man. I guess I forgot that you two didn't overlap there at Redemptorist, but. Still an amazing thing to see Coach Sid, who I've known since I was in the 7th grade. What an impact.
I never knew he won a basketball championship. Wow.
Yeah, man. He won a couple of state basketball titles as well at Redemptor. Yeah, man. No, Coach Sid's a guy, man. Everywhere he's been, he's won, man. And not surprised to see him win the mayoral election as well. He positively impacts the community. I love that they're doing this, man. Again, this Friday, it says on the flyer 4 p.m. Is it earlier than that? Do you know, or is it 4 p.m.?
It'll be 4 p.m.
Okay,
starting off at 4.
All right, 4 p.m. at Memorial Stadium in Baton Rouge, ages 6 to 18. To register, brla.gov/men4others, FOR. That's the mayor's program, the Men for Others initiative. So brla.gov/men4others. That's where you can go to register for ages 6 to 18 for the camp coming up this Friday at 4 p.m. out at Memorial Stadium. All right, before you go, you kind of gave us a little bit of a tease there, said you talked to Kellen Moore. Do you all have a history from when you were in Dallas together?
Oh, yeah. So when I first got to Dallas, Kellen was a quarterback, and I protected him for about, I think, maybe 2 years. He was when I first got here, he was the backup to Romo, and then he ended up transitioning while playing. Scott Linehan kind of brought him along that route, but Kellen's always been super smart. Just football IQ off the charts. Just a great human being, great man, great father, all those things. And so, I got to know Kellen a lot because he was in when I first got there. I was obviously running with the second group, and he was with the second group. So we got a lot of chance to talk and learn and do a lot of things together. And I mean, you know, when he got to New Orleans, I had to give him obviously all the congratulations in the world, especially coming off the Super Bowl win. I mean, he's going to be a great coach in the NFL for a long time, and so obviously I had to let him know that I'm here for him too. You know, if he ever needs to call me, I'll be ready. So
what would it mean if you had the opportunity to come back to your home state and play for the Saints?
That would be something truly special to be able to play back at the home state, to play, put that black and gold, man. That would be something to see. That would be very special. I'll tell you that. But hey, we'll see what happens. You know. We'll see what happens.
Man, you have a lot of people here excited if that were to come to pass, man.
I would love it though. I would love it though, man, to be right back there. I'll tell you what. You know, it's funny because when I was in Little League, we played a All-Star game in the Saints practice facility, and at halftime at one of their games, and Drew Brees was obviously playing at the time, and I was Little League young guy, and he called us up and broke it down, and you know, I told him that story when I played against him in real life, and he kind of remembered it a little bit, and you know, that meant a lot to me. So the biggest thing, especially for me, is, you know, you never forget those moments that you have with great elite people and athletes. So any chance you get a chance to go in and get better and really focus on your craft and be around that, just take the opportunity. And I'm grateful that I was able to have that opportunity that stuck with me for life. And here we are. So we're going to keep chopping wood, and we're going to keep grinding and getting better. So,
Lyle Collins. Hey, man, it's been a long time. Appreciate a couple of minutes today. Great work with the camp. We'll help spread the word, and glad to hear you're healthy and looking forward to seeing you do great things this year in the NFL, man. Thank you for the time.
Man, Matt, thank you so much.
Of course. It's our pleasure. Lyle Collins, former Tiger great, redemptorist, LSU, long NFL career now since the 2015 season. What is it? Year 11 or year 12? Might be in New Orleans. Let's go. Love to hear that. All right, it's After Further Review, y'all. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, make sure you put Volkswagen on your list. That's all I ask you to do. Put Volkswagen on your list. Take a few minutes to go to the website, SouthPointVW.com, and go shop their inventory. Shop the inventory, check out their features, all the great offers they have going on right now. South Point's convenient right there on Airline just north of Highland. Maybe even if you're listening or watching outside of Baton Rouge, remember, sometimes it's worth a short drive, even if you have to come from New Orleans or Lafayette or Alec, or wherever you are, if you're going to get a better deal on a vehicle. And South Point can do that for you. SouthPointVW.com. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Let's knock out our final break of the show. We'll come back. Jimmy will be here for Outer Locks. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Goodwood, men's sexual wellness. You can visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. I was over at Goodwood yesterday, as a matter of fact. I was talking to Mary, and she was telling me so many more men have been coming in asking about BPC 157 and NAD+. If you are not familiar, BPC 157, Body Protection Compound 157, it's a peptide. If you're not familiar, learn more about it. It is revolutionizing recovery. If you have an injury you're trying to recover from, a once daily injectable, tiny little injectable, 8-week cycle on, 8-week cycle off. It is revolutionizing recovery. Learn more, yourgoodwood.com. And then NAD+, this is about cellular optimization. It's about literally making your biology younger at the cellular level. If you want to learn more about NAD+, how you can get that, achieve that, Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. yourgoodwood.com. They're right here in Baton Rouge, but they're available online as well. yourgoodwood.com.
There it is, the extra mile. on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Sunequip.com, sunequip.com. All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, welcome back, man. How are you?
Thank you, buddy. Doing great, man. Doing great.
Good.
Glad to be back. Glad to be back for a week and a half. Before I take some more time off.
And then is it Delmar time?
Yes, it's Delmar time.
It's Delmar time when we
anyway.
lose Jimmy for a month, and we hope to get him refocused again in time for the NFL season.
Yeah. So, but
yeah,
good to be back. I think in 35 years, I may have gone like completely stutter, bumble free for the whole show. Feeling really good about myself. Maybe the big guy saying, "You're doing all right." I go to load up my groceries at Rouse's on Burbank, and I got all the equipment at Rouse, at Doe's. So, back. Stay in your lane, boy. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. So.
That's a good excuse to go back to Doe's and get you a steak and an old fashioned.
Yes. No. Oh, man, it's yard day today. So get this place back straight, man.
All right, man. What are we looking at tonight, man?
Well, Toronto, -1.5. I've been riding a wide stop on the road. We got to decrease that juice a lot. So we're going to ride the Blue Jays -1.5. But they just, I'm sure you're well aware, but my gosh, they just ripped through that lead and have built a little bit of a cushion themselves in the AL East.
Yeah.
A little bit of a public team with the Cubbies. The Cubbies with one of their better pitchers on the hill today for the Cubs. I love that lineup. I love that lineup. So Cubbies minus the juice. I don't have the current
1 minute
odds
remaining.
in front of me.
I'll
Matt.
look it up, but I know it went
Mike
on the
Lugo,
website at 131.
Lugo, ace for Kansas City. We know that Pittsburgh is struggling, so we'll ride that. Pittsburgh did not score a run in the weekend series in Seattle. First time Seattle in their history, 50 years, that they had an opponent score 0 runs in a series. Mizorowski been on fire. He had a rough one last time against the Mets. We're back on him at a pick against the all of a sudden struggling Dodgers. And then Hunter Brown. How good has he been, and how good have the Astros been? -1 is available at DraftKings and the Queen. So at home, we don't like to lay that 1.5.
Otter, where are you tomorrow?
We're at Modesto. Rohan, Max, and lots of guests.
Awesome, man. We'll look forward to it. Thank you, Otter.
All right, Max. Thank you.
All of Jimmy's picks are up there. Otterlocks at LouisianaSports.net. That'll do it for us here today. Muse Pauly, thanks. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Get on down the road. Remind you about Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. OLOLRMC.com/LSU if you want to learn more there. It might sound like a long website, but just spell it out. OLOLRMC is in Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center. Our Lady of the Lake, part of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System, a multi-state health system with world-class hospitals and clinics and children's hospitals and care for adults like you and me in primary care. It's Our Lady of the Lake, the same award-winning physicians that care for LSU student-athletes on the field, the students on campus, same great care available for you and me. Our Lady of the Lake, OLOLRMC.com/LSU to learn about the championship health partnership between Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.